The leaves are changing, the nights are cooler, and the days are getting shorter. That must mean it's time for week number 4 of the Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights. Stay tuned for the Starting Point pregame show after these messages. Oh, and somebody mentioned something about Friday the 13th?
Ooh. Hey, football fans, as we cheer on our teams this season, let's talk about a crucial support team right here in Mount Vernon.
At Starting Point Pregnancy and Family Resource Center, we're here to support you through every decision, just like a coach guides you through the big game.
Whether it's about pregnancy testing or exploring your options, Starting Point is all about giving you the information and support you need.
Just like every play counts on the field, every choice you make for your life matters.
For more information, visit knoxstartingpoint.com.
Knox Starting Point, you have more choices than you think.
And welcome back to Back. All right, we're starting off good. The Starting Point's pregame show. I'm Kyle Kerster along with Austin Maurice. And Austin, tonight we bring you a matchup between Mount Gilead and Danville, a on-paper matchup between two teams that are 2-1. Danville had a little bit rough row of it last week, but they played a kind of perennial powerhouse in the state of Ohio. And Mount Gilead is kind of trying to ride the wave here of the early success in their season as they both kick off conference play.
Absolutely. Like you said, Danville last week, they were going to go play Hopewell Loudon, and they're actually 17th in Division 6 right now. So it kind of gives you a frame of reference. You got a Division 7 team here, and you got a Division 6 team that's ranked 17th, and their Danville is going in there and really putting up a pretty good fight. Their offense couldn't really get things going, but defense travels, and Danville's defense proved they're up to the task of playing some pretty darn good teams. So for Mount Gilead tonight, that's going to be a task trying to take on that defense.
Yeah, it is. And as you talked about, the offense last week definitely did struggle. Running attack wasn't there for both Hackman and Burke. They both struggled on the ground. Neither one of them was able to break the 50-yard mark in the game. And the passing attack, I believe he was 2 of 7, if I saw it correctly. So they're definitely going to need to look to right the ship offensively as they come out here against Mount Gilead to start the start of their conference play. Now for Mount Gilead, that's a whole different ball of wax coming in here for a team that's really trying to start to grow that program and make some noise in the KMAC.
Absolutely. With Mount Gilead, they were 1-6 last year in the KMAC, so definitely not something that they want to remember. And last year in their penultimate game of the KMAC, they actually played against this Danville team and lost 53-20. So they're going to have that fresh in their mind. It was towards the end of their season last year. It wasn't how they wanted to end the KMAC season for them, and they're definitely going to be looking to improve upon that this year and kind of get things rolling. They're going to need that offense to show up today. This Danville defense is going to be ready to go, like we said, but they are averaging 32 points a game. So in their first couple games, that offense has been rolling, and they're only giving up 20, Mount Gilead, that is. So they seem like now is a good time to kind of test their might against a team like Danville and see where they can land.
Exactly, and that's going to be one of the things that you look up and down the roster for Mount Gilead here. A lot of younger kids. A lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen on this roster, not a heavy older class group of kids. So you're going to see, does the youth and inexperience play in their favor in the fact that you don't really realize what you're going up against coming in here to play Danville?
Absolutely, yeah. That's going to be a first time for a few of these kids, especially in the positions that they're going to be in. So it's going to be all about learning and adapting on the fly. The game plan as it's written up for them right now, I'm sure he's going to need to try and get possession of the ball for one, try and get that running game rolling and kind of keep it to where they can keep the ball in the offense's hands and not let Danville have too many shots at it. But at the same time, it's going to be a learning experience.
Yeah, it is, and that's what we'll be able to see here tonight as we get ready for our game between Mount Gilead and Danville as you are listening to the Starting Point pregame show on WNVO.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Howard Hilton Grill, just east of Apple Valley on Coshocton Road, has a casual, cozy atmosphere, offering comfort food and good times. Open daily from 10 in the morning to 1 a.m., now adding Sunday morning breakfast at 8 a.m. The Howard Hilton also recently added on an outdoor tiki bar seating patio option with big screen TV. Stop by and enjoy great tastes like the Hilton Burger, or enjoy Taco Tuesdays at the Howard Hilton in Howard. That's the Howard Hilton, 740-599-2337.
And we're back in as we get going here with the Starting Point pregame show, brought to you, obviously, by Starting Point. For the Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights, as we take off here in Danville for week number 4, and things are really starting to heat up as teams are going to kind of look to position themselves for the postseason. Danville, I know, has aspirations to get back there. Mount Gilead, on the other hand, they're trying to rebound after, you said, that 1-6 season. So we'll see what either team's able to bring out here together on the field. The crowd is in full effect. There is not an empty spot here at Tough Street Stadium, as both the youth cheer and band is involved as they're getting ready here to start the national anthem, and we will go to that when they start. But, Austin, you kind of look at this game as one of the ones where if you're Mount Gilead, and even if you don't win, if you can remain competitive, you get that building block for the season. But if you come in here and struggle, you can be chasing yourself the whole entire rest of the conference season.
Yeah, you got a tale of two stories here between these two teams. So for Danville, you're going to be coming into this game and you're going to be saying to yourself, we want to set the tone for what we're going to do in the KMAC this year. We crushed it last year. We ran through it, no problem. We want to come back to it and start off that same way. Yes, they took a loss last week, but that might be actually kind of good for this group. It's not that they're all younger. There's a lot of seniors on this team, but they're new to their positions as well. We talked about Mount Gilead being that way. Danville, there's a lot of kids that are having to take up a lot bigger responsibilities this year.
And it takes the pressure off you, too. You no longer have to maintain your perfection as the season goes. Now you've got it out of the way. Now you can focus in. So now we will join as we listen into the band play the national anthem here at Tough Stadium in Danville.
The playing of our national anthem and remain standing for the Danville High School alma mater.
As that was Danville's band for the national anthem, as we are getting closer and closer to kickoff here for week number 4 of Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights. And, you know, Austin, as you look at this stadium and you realize that they actually afforded the money to water their grass, because this is the greenest grass I think I've seen all in Central Ohio right now.
Absolutely.
The drought obviously did not affect this field. But when you're out here in these games and you got these nights that are starting to get cooler, once that sun drops, get a little more crispness in the air, a little more smack to the pads, as they say. It'll be interesting to see how these teams are able to also run through the conditioning portion of this. You know, you first couple of weeks, it's expected that, you know, you're still trying to get your legs underneath you from all the conditioning and the heat of the summer. But now you're kind of supposed to be in full spin. There's no reason right now your team shouldn't be hitting its stride, cleaning up the mistakes, cleaning up penalties, turnovers, things of that nature. And we've seen with Danville, turnovers have sometimes caused them a little more problems than they like.
Oh, absolutely. They started this year off with, you know, a whole lot of turnovers. And like you said, that's kind of part of the growing pains, kind of part of getting the year going. You hope that they don't lead to losses, but that's kind of been the theme of the season so far. So this is definitely a game and an opportunity for them to try and clean that up a little bit. Again, it's an in-conference opponent, so you definitely want to set the tone off right. And you want to hold on to that ball. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how, Aiden Burke is going to be carrying that ball plenty, How is he going to hold up, especially as he's new to this position with the amount of, times he's being used in it? How is he going to be able to adapt to that extra usage, and how are those legs going to be? How much push is going to be in that pile when he gets in there?
Now, one of the things as you look again up and down this roster for Mount Gilead, the size. They've got their big kids out there, but it's not as overwhelming size as some of these other teams that Danville has had to go up against, especially last week with that tough row up there against Loudonville. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to kind of rebound like we talked earlier with the poor running attack that they had last week, if they're able to get the traction back underneath that.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be a great test for them, really. Like you had kind of said earlier, this is going to be a game to kind of see where they stand right now. The season that they had last year is nothing that they wanted to be. They don't want to remember it. They want to move on from that, but they learned and they growed from it, hopefully. So you want to see how this year looks, and you want to see this is a good test for them. This is a good start to the season to kind of get an idea. You're playing against the cream of the crop in their own building. How can you fare against it? No, Mount Gilead might not be the favorite tonight. They might not come in here with the expectation that they're going to dominate, but I'm sure those kids think they have a shot at winning. The scoreboard right now reads 0-0, so there's absolutely a shot for them, but how are they going to hold?
Yeah, there's no point to strap on the old war bonnet, as Coach Hawk would always tell us, if you don't think you can win. And that's why you go out there every single day. And, this is the kind of situation where if you're the coaching staff for Danville, you also got to remind your kids, look, numerically, we should be able to handle this. As you look down the paper, the rosters, the talent, the size, and all the returners and things of that nature, we obviously handled our business last year with them. We should be able to handle our business this year with them. And when you get into games like that, sometimes you forget that you actually have to get out there and play that game, and you give that team more opportunities to hang around.
Absolutely, and you got to keep in mind, too, that Danville next week is actually heading out to Northmore. So they might be looking ahead a little bit at a team last year in Northmore that was pretty solid and is hoping for, another good season this year. So if you're Danville, you got to make sure your head's on straight with this game. You got to make sure you're paying attention. You got to protect that home turf. And you're coming off of a loss, too. So these kids really shouldn't have anything too big that they're feeling like they're not undefeated. They're not untouchable. They know they can lose. So they want to, at this point, and like you said, that's going to take a lot of pressure off. Not having that undefeated record. They went through it all last year kind of dealing with that. How do they adapt now to having that loss behind them? Do they play looser, a little bit more free?
Yeah, and it'll be, like you said, looser and free is going to be the key. You don't want to get yourself too much in the mental space where you tighten up your game because you don't want to make a mistake. You oftentimes in the coaching circle, sometimes they'll say you're coaching not to lose. Well, that's the worst thing you can do. Obviously, your team's ready to rock and roll. Obviously, the whole entire community is ready to rock and roll. I'm pretty sure if you went around door to door to try to sell some candy in Danville, you would not get one person to answer your door as they are getting ready here. Danville's getting ready here. Come out on the field, and we will be ready for start of the game here shortly as you hear the crowd start to come to their feet, get the bells out, and start get ready to ring as the old AC/DC tolls its bells across the speaker here on Tough Street Stadium. And action tonight again brought to you all season long by Starting Point of Knox County, Griffin Insurance, Howard Hilton, Foster's Pharmacy, Mount Vernon Nazarene University, Spearman Financial Services, Elite Preparedness, Pizza Cottage, Avita Health System, Licking Knox Goodwill, and our title sponsor all season long, Cubbage Electric Plumbing and Construction. So the Blue Devils have come out on the field. They're getting ready to go. The crowd's obviously ready to go. The toss was won by Mount Gilead. They deferred to the second half, so Danville will get the ball to start off. And it's going to be one of those things, if you're on the other side of the field with Mount Gilead, it's key to tell your defense, we got to hold them. We cannot let them come out here and make a statement. The crowd is on edge. You saw it when they were coming out on the field. The crowd wants a reason to go nuts. And if they get out here, get on the board quickly with a big play, we've seen it before when you get Burke rolling, when you get Hackman rolling, even when you got Byers out there rolling. They've got weapons that can hit you quick, hit you fast. And if you're Mount Gilead and you let them do that on the first series, you're going to really be running uphill the whole way.
Oh, yeah, you listed a plethora of weapons right there, and Caleb Lucas wasn't even on the list. I have a feeling that Tough Street Stadium built a little bit at an angle. It's almost like there's a little bit of an angle to it right there, and it feels like Danville's always running downhill at you. It feels like they always are on your feet. So you got to be ready for them. You got to be ready for that first stand. You got to be ready to hold up and make sure that your offense goes out there, hopefully in a level playing field, to kind of get a shot and feel like you don't want to start behind the eight ball right away. You want to feel like you're in it from the beginning. And so this first drive is going to be crucial for how this game's going to shape out.
Exactly. As they're finally getting ready to come out on the field, Mount Gilead wearing their travel white uniforms with their purple pants and the purple numerals along with the purple helmets. Danville in their familiar blue tops and white bottoms with the all too favorite Old English style D on the side of the helmet. One of my favorite styles of writing. As a kid, I spent way too much time trying to figure out how to make that alphabet work. And what I found out is I don't have the patience.
No, it is fantastic. That's got to be one of the more iconic helmets in the KMAC for sure, man. It's awesome to see.
So as we said, Mount Gilead will be doing the kicking as they get the ball teed off. It's going to be Carson Street, the 5'7", 140-pound senior. And we'll be doing the kicking duties here for the Indians. And back deep for Danville. They got two men set up right about their own 10-yard line. I do not have numbers yet, but I will get you names here shortly. He gets his foot into it. It's going to be a low end-over-end kick, and it's going to check up at about the 20. Up man will take it there out across the 30, cuts it into the middle, makes a couple men miss, and he'll get wrapped up right about the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, it looks like it was Wesley Payne that got in there with the carry right there, so he gets it out to the 30 for them, and they kind of get a good start right here. So they got decent field position, and they're going to be looking, like you said, to start off quick, kind of give Aiden Burke the ball a few times here, I'm sure, and kind of see what they can do with this defense.
So 1st and 10 as the Blue Devils will break huddle and come to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation. And we may have a backup quarterback. That looks like Ridgway in there at the quarterback spot as he sends a man in motion from left to right. Burke is in the backfield on his left-hand hip. Takes a snap. High snap's going to stop. Going to quick throw to the outside. He's got his man wide open, and he just looked upfield as he was untouched there on Aiden Mickley, the 6', 175-pound sophomore.
Yeah, Mickley got his space there, but he was thinking about moving before the ball made its way into his hands right there, man. He was already trying to take that first step. Man, he had some space right there. That was a good route he ran. He held it tight, and he just couldn't hold on to the ball, though.
It's the finish step 1 before you move to step 3. As his eyes were trying to get downfield, he sensed he was open, and he wanted to make a big play. So it's an empty backfield this time for Ridgway as he's got 3 to the left, 2 near side to the right. Looks like pressure coming up the middle, and it is. Takes a snap, quick snap. He's going to get a little quick hitter screen onto the outside, and he is unable to get anywhere as he hooked up with Caleb Lucas there. But a great job defensively of sliding in and taking him down.
It's going to be interesting to see how Ridgway responds to this. This is a team so far, that, again, Danville, they're 2-1, but only home game they had was a win. So this crowd's going to be expecting the same thing. How's he going to respond to this pressure?
So he's going to come out now in a 3rd and 10. Burke in the backfield on his left-hand hip. 3 tight to the right, 1 split out far left. High snap, turns, hands it off. Burke's got a seam across that corner. A nice block out across the 40, and he'll run out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. A nice gain on 3rd down, but shy of the marker.
Yeah, nice move there from Burke. Nice power running out there to the side. All of a sudden you get yourself into a 4th and manageable. I guess it kind of depends on which way you go with this right here, though.
I would think that they're going to probably have the confidence in both their offense and defense. And they're going to be able to try to come up with something here. The book tells you punt at this situation because you're in your own territory, but obviously Danville isn't reading that book I'm reading. They're reading their own, and as I expect, they're going to line up and go for it here on 4th and 2. Ridgway. He's going to have Burke in the backfield on his left-hand hip. Again, bunch tight to the right, 1 split out far left, turns, hands it off. The exact same play on a counter sweep. This time, though, good pressure, and I think he's going to be short as he tried to push forward but was wrapped up there by Bo Sayers, a 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore.
I think this is exactly what that Mount Gilead defense was looking for right there. We talked about them needing to get a stop on their first drive, make sure that they could get their offense some decent field position, and they did exactly that right there. They benefited from that 4th down try, and they were able to hold up Burke right there, which is no easy task. Once he gets moving, it's tough to stop him. So big stop from the defense there. Now let's see if this offense can take advantage of some really advantageous field position, starting inside of the Danville territory first drive.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Long's going to be under center. Old school T formation as he comes set. Takes a snap. He fouls it. He's going to keep it himself, luckily. And that was a good decision there. Just go ahead and wrap that up and try to maintain possession. As that was a bad exchange, a little bit of maybe some nerves on the first snap exchange here between the young sophomore quarterback and the center.
I know you like that formation right there. I could hear the excitement in your voice when you saw that.
That means we're just coming and running right down your throat.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to stop me. I'm not going to be fancy about it. Let's see what happens. And Unfortunately, a bad exchange cost them some yardage. 2nd down and 12 now is again T formation. Long under center. Takes snap, turns. He's going to hand it off on a counter to the right side. He had a crease. If he would have bounced it to the outside, he did not. And that was Elliott Jones on the carry, and he was taken down by Josh Byers.
And that's a formation that says confidence. It says I'm going to bring it right at you, and I'm not going to have any fear. But all of a sudden, this Danville defense with 2 big stops right there. Now you're behind the chains in what has to be an obvious passing position right here. Be interesting to see, again, like you said, how the young quarterback kind of responds to this.
So, again, 3rd down and 12. As Long gets the play, he's going to be another one of those kids that's got cross-country letters because he runs back and forth between every play for the snap count. All right, and it's going to be timeout for Granville, Pete. Mount Gilead, we're going to take our timeout too. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
If market volatility is keeping you awake at night, call Spearman Financial Services. Spearman Financial Services have seen plenty of ups and downs, and this is normal. As our old high school football coach would remind us, the true champion is found with your ability to bounce back after a loss. So stop losing sleep and call the team who will coach you through the good times and the bad times. Spearman Financial Services, financial plans that last a lifetime.
Securities offered through Valmark Securities Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Valmark Advisors Incorporated, SEC registered investment advisor. Spearman Financial Services is a separate entity from Valmark Securities Incorporated and Valmark Advisors Incorporated. Past performances cannot guarantee future results. One cannot invest directly in an index.
Elite Preparedness stands as Ohio's unrivaled destination for top-tier firearms training and related services. Experience our state-of-the-art facilities in scenic southern Knox County, stock up in our pro shop, and enjoy our indoor and outdoor range options. Our expert cadre leads an unparalleled lineup of classes and personal training sessions. We also offer VIP transportation, armored vehicle services, along with security and executive protection services. Reach out at 740-263-1234, explore online at elitepreparedness.com, or visit our facilities at 25580 Bell Church Road, Utica, Ohio, to witness the ultimate.
As we come back to action, single back formation, 3 split out far right. Long again bobbles that snap. He is having a hard time on that exchange. Somehow gets his feet under him, but not enough, and Caleb Lucas finally brings him down.
Yeah, they're really struggling with that exchange right there. That's 3 consecutive plays where there's been some sort of funkiness with that exchange. It just seems like he can't get his hands on it.
So that's going to make it 4th down, and we'll call it about 19, 18, somewhere in that range. As they're going to send out the punt team here. Does Mount Gilead?
The book definitely says to punt here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Street will be doing the kicking duties. Again, he gets a right foot into it. It's a high, wobbly kick that's going to angle to the sideline and go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it, probably around the 30-yard line. Excuse me, that was Cameron Vickers on the kicking duty there for the Indians.
So a couple of defensive drives there, actually, by both teams. Solid defensive stops. Neither offense really showing much of anything. Somewhat conservative play there by Mount Gilead with their offense. Didn't try to open things up too much. Just kind of stuck with what it was, but didn't really have very many opportunities with it either with those exchange issues they were having.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing that was weird is Danville didn't try to run, take the pressure off the young kid and run that ball with Burke. So we'll see what they do here on this second series as they start 1st and 10. At their own 30-yard line on the far hash mark. Ridgeway is going to have 2 split left, 2 to the right, and Burke's in the backfield behind him. As he checks over that defense, he's going to bring a man motion from left to right. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to get it on a jet sweep. He's got a block out in front of him. Let's see if he's able to make a man miss. He can out across the 35, and there he gets spun out of bounds, as that was Carson Traynor on the tackle.
Laundry out there towards the middle of the field, though.
Got a feeling that's going to be a hold, possibly a block in the back. It looked like maybe 1 or 2 of the players for Danville came back to try to help bring this sweep and may have gotten a little bit too far behind the defender. We'll see here, though, as the officials discuss that, and yes, it is exactly that. So the Blue Devils will go backwards. Again, both offenses first half, I got a feeling neither one of them wanted to go home and tell you about these current efforts.
No, there's some sputtering. You talked about how good the field looks and how nice and shiny and green it is, but it looks like there's a red light on the entire field right now, telling everybody to stop.
It's interesting to see. So we'll see here which team's able to finally find that right gear and get things moving. As the defense from Mount Gilead shuffles around as they come out, shotgun formation, 1 left, 3 to the right. He's going to send a man in motion now from right to left. He's going to fake it to him, hand it to Burke on a counter. Right up that middle. He's going to get a push out to about the 30, maybe across the 30 to the 31. And he'll get right back to about the original line of scrimmage and make it 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, it's a nice positive play right there from Burke. Kind of get heading downfield and try and see if you can make some damage in there, and he did. So now you get yourself into a 2nd down and, chip off a little bit of that yardage.
So we'll see what they come up here as they've been on a more heavy dose of run in this second series offensively. Ridgeway breaks the huddle, and again, it's going to be a shotgun formation. He's going to have a tight trip formation to his right, one split out far left as he puts Burke on his left-hand hip. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff. It's going to be a quick slant again and again. This time he's not able to hook up with his wide receiver as he was looking for Carson proper, and the defender got there right in time to break it up. It looks like he's going to actually pay for that one. That is Tyler Harr on the ground.
Yeah, it looked like Harr bounced right up against him. He definitely took the worst of the two exchanges right there. Timing was off a little bit on that pass. Looked like if he could have waited another half second or so, his receiver would have been a little bit more open, but
he had pressure coming.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to force his hand here. So the trainer's going to come out. Well, we'll see here. It looks like maybe he's just trying to get a feel for who he is and where he is right now. I've had those moments before where you go up to hit somebody expecting a little more give from the body, and, well, it doesn't give as much. But will they talk about it? Yep, I think they're going to be good. All right, so we don't need to step out. So it'll be a brief little moment of a respite for both teams to catch your breath, get a little conversation in on the sideline, kind of figure out exactly, defensively, what are you seeing up front there from the offense? Offensively, where are we struggling? What are we having problems with?
both defenses got to be pretty happy with how they've started off this game. Don't get me wrong, the offenses are struggling, but I think the defenses are playing a role in that. Both sides seem like they're kind of coming at it right now.
So we'll see what they come up with here out of this huddle. They now have two in the backfield as he's going to have Burke along with, looks like maybe Levi Fury in the backfield with him. Bear with me, I don't have a number 17 on my roster, so we will see what they come up with. One split right, two split out to the left as Ridgeway looks over that defense. Man in motion, he's going to flip it out to him on a screen, and he's got a convoy out in front of him to get there, but he cannot. As a great job defensively by the defensive end there. I believe that was Elliott Jones to come up and wrap him up.
And again, another drive with Danville right there where they're kind of sputtering, kind of struggling a little bit.
And again, there was Siren Wallace in the backfield with them. I get what they're trying to do. You get your athletes with speed out in the open air, and hopefully they can make some moves, but Elliott Jones is having none of that as he closed quickly from his linebacker position to bring up a fourth down, and the punt team comes out. So Ridgeway will be the punter this time as he's lined up deep, gets a snap, gets his right foot in. Nice wobbly kick is going to be taken at about the 35. He's going to stutter step there, try to cut it back into the middle, and he's got nowhere to go as that was great coverage by the Danville Blue Devils. And I believe that was Wallace again on the coverage.
Looks like a special teams win right there. I'd say that was a great punt, really well executed right there. And all of a sudden you push that offense back a little bit from Mount Gilead, who didn't really show us a ton of promise that last time around. Those exchanges weren't so clean, and so let's see if they're able to recover here, though, and kind of at least at this point right now, it feels like for either team, getting a first down or two would feel like a major success, whether points come from it or not, just trying to get some sort of momentum.
So we'll see here as the Indians come out again for their second series. 1st and 10 inside their own territory, about the 37. T formation, turns, dives right up the middle for the fullback. He's out across the 40 to the 45, and he'll fall forward to about the 48-yard line as that was Cameron Vickers on the carry.
It's about a nice little fullback run right there. Some power running up the middle that feels pretty nice right there.
Cameron Vickers is no small kid himself, 6'1", 200 pounds.
No.
As he was able to get around that corner and keep the pile moving, and a little bit of excitement also came from his teammates. As I'm sure offensively, if we're watching what we're seeing here in week 4, they've probably had a rough go of it from time to time. And to get that momentum, like you said, to be able to pick up that first down and keep the drive going. T formation again, everybody packed in tight. Long's under center, takes snap, turns, hands it off. It's going to be Vickers again right up the middle. This time he's got nowhere to go, and he'll be dragged off to the sideline before being thrown down. As it looked like at the point of attack there, that was number 60, Greg Wilson.
Yeah, stuffed him up in the middle right there. The defense is both good signs from both. That's no surprise with Danville. It's good to see Mount Gilead's defense is there as well. I think this will be worth noting. So we talked about this in week 1. Wyatt Long running back and forth to the sideline for every single play. I am interested to see how he handles that as the game goes on. That's going to take something out of him.
They try to run with him, that's what will be interesting to see. Again, T formation as Long's under center. Takes snap, turns, hands it off. It's going to be a fullback dive. This time he's going to go right up the middle with Carson Barnum. And a 6'5" or 205-pound junior will push the pile into Danville territory to the 45.
A little bit of momentum going on here. It seems like, Mount Gilead's able to get a little bit of traction kind of doing that right there, but Now you find yourself in a big third down where you really want to try and see if you can keep this drive going.
Third down, we're going to call it 3 as the ball sits on the far hash mark at the 45-yard line. Long gets the play, comes out of the huddle again, T formation as he gets set underneath center. Takes a snap, bobbled it, turned, had to keep it himself, and luckily for him, everybody bit on the fullback through the hole. And he was able to get positive yards, but I don't know if that is going to be enough. It looks like it's right on the line. And we'll see here what the officials say. They are saying it is enough, and it will be a first down.
Wow. That was a great recovery right there. Again, another bobbled snap, though.
Yeah. And you wonder sometimes, you know, you watch youth sports and the football program currently. A lot of offenses are derived from shotgun formations where you're not under center. This is almost like something. I wonder if he's just not that comfortable because he hasn't had to do it his whole entire life.
Right.
So we'll see here as they got a 1st and 10. T formation again, long under center, turns, hands it off. It's going to be Vickers off that right side up to about the 40, and he'll get up to about maybe the 39-yard line before he goes down.
Yeah, you stand under center like that, all of a sudden those D-line on the other side are a whole lot closer. Everything's a lot quicker with what you got to be doing. And, yeah, maybe it's just something where he's not quite as familiar. He's used to that shotgun. He's used to getting that ball with, another half second or so to be able to let the brain register where he needs to go.
The other thing I know from playing center is there is a lot to be said about the arm force from the center putting that ball back there and quarterback's handling it. So that could be it too. Little split back formation, fumbles on the snap, and luckily he falls on top of it as he's becoming accustomed to making sure the ball's in his possession before he really starts moving. But, yeah, it looks to me like it might just be a matter of that center is coming back a little too fast and hard with the ball as the quarterback's trying to pull his hands away a little too quickly, and the timing of it's all off.
Yeah, and it's definitely eating at this drive a little bit because you can tell that his first thought process before anything is to maintain possession of that ball. He can't even think about what to do with the defense, where to hand it off to. His first step is just make sure I have this ball in my hand. So they definitely got to get that sorted out. But slowly but surely, this drive's moving down the field.
So it's third down now, though, as it starts to sputter like a 1972 Ford. As he fakes it, he's going to go with a play-action pass. He's got his wide receiver there open on the right sideline, and he'll be down across the first down marker, down inside. It looks like he stepped out of bounds at probably about the 25-yard line, and a nice little change of pace there as he hooked up with Carson Traynor.
Yeah, you could tell that was unexpected, and Danville definitely wasn't ready for it right there. That was a big pickup. That was definitely different from what we've seen tonight from them. But great play, great connection, and all of a sudden, fresh set of downs.
So the drive stays alive as the Indians continue to go down the field inside the 25 of the 24. Takes a snap, turns, hands it off. It's a huge hole up the middle as he was able to push all the way inside the 20 to the 15. And that was Barnum again on that carry. And nobody was home for the Blue Devils.
Carson Barnum, 6'2", 205. Yeah, that's a lot of body coming at you right there. He got some momentum, and he had plans.
And they weren't pretty to anybody on the side.
No, there was nobody on the Blue Devils team that wanted to see what he had cooking up.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. As, again, T formation. Long under center, turns, takes a snap, hands it off. It's Barnum again, right off that right side. And this time somebody wanted to step up, and he was more than happy to see what he was cooking there, as that's Blake Colopy, a 5'8", 185-pound senior.
Yeah, you could say he was all up in their kitchen. That's really kind of how that looked right there. Yeah, there was nothing cooking. Stove not even turned on right there. But I did notice right there, though, that there was another kind of handoff snafu.
Yes.
He looked back. He wasn't quite sure. When he was handing it off to Barnum, it looked like he kind of almost looked back to kind of see what the issue was right there.
Could be the 42 miles he's already put in jogging back and forth on this field, too.
It could be. There's rumors of a state record.
It's going to be 2nd down and 10 now. T formation as Long comes up underneath center. Takes snap, turns. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and that's going to be Vickers, and Vickers has got nowhere to go, as once again he was dragged back by a host of Blue Devils. And I believe leading the charge on that one was Aiden Burke.
Red zone defense for the Blue Devils stepping up right here, though. They definitely got gashed a few times on the way, but so far so good here.
Well, we'll see if this ends up being like a Nightmare on Elm Street for them here, as it's 3rd down and 9. Or if they're a little able to pull out a little Jason Varices and slash their way into the end zone.
Ooh.
There you go. Split back formation, one split out far right as Long comes under center. Takes snap, turns, fakes. He's going to look deep, little play action. He's going to try to get his tight end, and a great job by Burke as he went underneath him as he was trying to hook up with Vickers out there on a little out route.
Yeah, it was a big-time stop right there. No Jason Voorhees, no nothing going on there. Just a whole lot of emptiness.
Nightmare on Elm Street, my friends.
Don't fall asleep.
Yes, indeed. Now, the real question is if the Candyman shows up, but that's for a whole nother ball of wax. So it's going to be 4th down, and we'll call it 9. Ball sits right about the beginning of the slope in the middle of the field on the far side. As Long stays over on the sideline waiting for that play call. The play clock's down underneath 10 seconds. We might see a timeout here depending on how quickly he can get there. We're down to 5. Yep, and they're going to have to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout, too. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
And preparedness training.
Hey, I think I might be pregnant.
What? How do you know?
I took a pregnancy test the other night. I don't know where to start. I don't think I'm ready to be a mom.
It's totally okay. I heard there's this place called Starting Point. They have free pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, and counseling. They have resources available for girls on a tight budget. You have more choices than you think.
Really? I don't know. If my parents find out, they'll kill me.
Don't worry, girl. Everything is confidential and judgment-free.
How do I make an appointment?
Just visit knoxstartingpoint.com to schedule your free appointment today.
Avita Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is proud to care for area athletes. Fellowship trained in complex knee and shoulder surgery, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Kyle Randall and sports medicine physician Dr. Jeremy Ream provide comprehensive sports medicine and orthopedic care for athletes, weekend warriors, and anyone who wants to get back on their feet, from strains and sprains to ACL and shoulder reconstruction. Avita has the experts you need. Call 419-709-8645.
4th and 9 for Mount Gilead at the 12-yard line as they come out of the timeout. Split back formation, one split out far side right as Long gets underneath center. Takes snap, bobbles it again, pump fake. He's going to go a little play action as he tries to get his receiver there and just overthrew him as Aiden Burke's on the interception, and he's got a convoy. There is going to be nobody except for Long as the closest, and I don't think he's going to get there as Aiden Burke is going to go coast to coast. Touchdown, Danville. But we got a flag. Now the flag showed up.
Oh, boy.
It'll probably be a block in the back. They had some trailing defenders trying to get in there, and some of his teammates were trying to make sure he wasn't going to get touched, and they may have been caught for blocking the back. We'll see here.
What a big play there by Burke, though.
Yeah, it is.
That's his comfort zone right there, though, man. Running right down the side, give him some space and let the kid run.
And this is an unfortunate turn of events here for the Blue Devils as the penalty will pull the touchdown back. And it looks like the flag is going to be right about the 20-yard line, so I'd imagine they're probably going to start 1st and 10 at about their own 30-35. We'll see here.
Regardless of where that gets placed, so it's going to give the offense a good opportunity here to try and see if they can kind of get their momentum going. That defense right there, that was a massive play. Big shift in momentum for sure.
Huge shift. Huge shift. And what's going to be key, though, is Danville has to score.
Oh,
because the way the mind games will work, if Mount Gilead can keep them out of the end zone and that penalty helped do that, it goes right back into Mount Gilead's side of the ball. Because you just slough off that interception and you say we did what we needed to do. So we'll see here. Ridgeway's got 2 left, 2 to the right. As Burke's in the backfield with him on the left-hand side. Big snap, turns, hands it off. Excuse me, that's going to be Wallace. And Wallace will go up to about the 25-yard line, and he'll go down there. Yeah, I imagine Burke probably needs a little breather after that long run.
Could be. Wouldn't blame him one bit right there for that. And you're right, though, with this Mount Gilead defense. If they can find a way to make a stop right here, they really have no reason not to think that they could. They've looked fantastic so far tonight.
Only thing that looks better is Gary. So it's going to be shotgun formation again. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. As Wallace will be in the backfield with Ridgeway. He brings him up on his right-hand hip. Takes a snap, and what we got now? We got a false start. Got a feeling the far side wide receiver got a little anxious out there. Justice Tharp, 6'2", 190-pound sophomore. And that'll take away 5 yards and make it 2nd down, and we'll call it 9.
Making it just a little bit tougher on themselves. And this will be something to watch, too, is how these penalties look.
Well, we saw it week 1.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a propensity to sometimes get in their own way. Now, neither one of these teams were involved in it last week, but I tell you, both teams were trying to get in their own way last week. So that's going to be the end of the first half, quarter? I don't know. Where are we at, Gary? We're into the first hole? All right, sweet. We've got 0-0. Love for all you tennis fans as you're listening to the Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Great news, Central Ohio. Foster's Pharmacy offers daily dose packaging, which are convenient and simple. It's truly personalized care you're looking for. It just starts with a call to get started. Take the hassle out of your medications. Call 740-392-0911. Foster's Health Mart Pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel.
Cubbage Electric Plumbing and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Enjoy the season. Cubbage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
We come back here at the start of the second quarter. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for Danville. Shotgun formation. 3 left, 1 split out far right as Burke checks back into the backfield on the right-hand hip of Ridgeway. Takes a snap, turns, hands it off. Burke's going to go right up that middle. He had a crease. He dropped his shoulder and fell forward for about 2 yards to bring up a 3rd and long.
I think Burke looked at that and said, I already ran down the entirety of the field once, and it was just too easy. So I know he didn't get points for it, but I'm going to drop the shoulder and show him what I got.
So 3rd down here for the Blue Devils as they look on at a 0-0 score. 11:39 to go here in the first half. And we remind you to stick around after the game for the Pizza Cottage Player of the Game. Brought to you each and every week by Pizza Cottage. So 3rd down now for the Blue Devils as they finally come set. 2 split right, 2 to the left as Burke will. Oh, no, it's going to be Wallace is going to come up on the left-hand side, and we're going to have confusion and a timeout. As Danville needs to talk about it, we'll step out too. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Hey, in this time of high inflation, remember, Goodwill stores have the lowest propane prices in town. So, get your propane tank filled at the Goodwill Plaza store in Newark, the Goodwill Unlimited store in Heath, Goodwill at the Lake in Buckeye Lake, or the Goodwill Plus store in Fredericktown, and save big. Goodwill can fill normal-sized grill tanks to motorhome and even large contractor tanks by the gallon. At Goodwill, you're always guaranteed the lowest propane prices in town.
Looking to take your career to the next level?
So out of the timeout on 3rd down and 8, the Blue Devils will have to decide how they want to approach this as they are inside of Mount Gilead territory. As we said, going out of the first quarter, it's love. Neither team has been able to find any kind of offensive momentum. This is the best so far for the Blue Devils. Shotgun formation, 2 left, 2 to the right. Man in motion from right to left. Takes a snap. As Ridgeway is going to roll that way. He's going to catch his receiver, and it's going to be intercepted as he was trying to get with Wallace on the little kind of hook out route. And stepping in the way there was Bo Sayers.
What an athletic play by Bo right there. That was fantastic, man. He got up on both. He went up there for that, too.
Bo knows jumping. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, Bo knows.
Bo knows. Bo knows jumping. And there it is. The interception, penalty on the touchdown, called back, and your offense cannot capitalize by turning the ball over again. That momentum swings right back over to the other side of that field. And it's kind of the game, if you keep letting Mount Gilead hang around long enough, you might regret the way it ends. So it's going to be T formation, again, long underneath center. Turns, bobbles, snaps, hands it off. It's going to be Vickers off that left side. He's going to drop his shoulder into a Danville defender, and he'll push him forward to about the 34-yard line, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, it'd be hard to argue so far that I think Mount Gilead has looked like the better team tonight. I think that Wyatt Long, he's had some issues with the handoffs, and it's going to be a big thing to me right here is how he responds from that interception in the end zone earlier.
I mean, it's almost comical to the point now where you expect it every single play. Watch him have to hot potato that football. T formation again, turns, nobody's there. Somebody's got to do something, and he can't do it. As he tried to go around the outside, and waiting for him right there was Hunter Mead.
Laundry right there with what looks like maybe a face mask.
Oh, No, that is not what you need, because you know what that does? That keeps the drive alive and gives them a first down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the 5-yard variety. Okay, so at least it's not going to be an automatic first down, but now you just gave them, instead of a second or a third and real long, now they get to look at a second, and we'll call it 3. I tell you, it's to me, it's just mind-boggling. You're this deep in the season and still struggle with the exchange between the center. Quick turn, Vickers off that left side, drops his shoulder. He's going to push it across the 40 to the 44. That'll be enough for a first down and to keep this drive alive. But you even see it when he turns the handoff to his running backs. There's just miscommunication. He turned right, the running back went left. Sometimes he's handing it to the running back and the ball's rolling up on the running back's shoulder. Again, I haven't watched them all season long to know if this young man's been the quarterback, but you would expect week 4 that to be cleaned up. So Long again under center, turns. He's going to hand it off, and I think he tripped his running back up the middle.
Yeah, it's real sloppy right now. And I think there's a couple of ways you can look at that if you're Mount Gilead. Yeah, they look real sloppy. Things don't look very good on this offense, and it's still a 0-0 score, and I still think they're probably the better team tonight. And so there's a lot of opportunity here, but if they can just get this kind of settled, or at the very minimum, you kind of keep this game close heading into halftime, you can sit down and say, look, what do we got going on? We got to get this straightened out because we had a game we can win here.
T formation again as Long's under center. Turns, hands it off. He runs into Vickers, but Vickers gets the ball, pushes the pile off that left side up to about the 49-yard line. You know, and it's really one of those things. You're in tight space, right? And you've got 4 guys all moving in what should be a very choreographed timing of events.
Sure.
And I just feel like right now, as you look at this group of 4 back there, maybe that comfort and trust level isn't there with each other. Another penalty here on Danville. And that'll push it again all the way up to inside Danville territory down to the 47-yard line. And, you know, it's Mount Gilead doing some good things offensively, but then they're having some bad things. But Danville just decides, hey, if you got a couple bad ones, we'll throw a penalty for you and get that right back to you. Second down in about 2 yards. As Long takes, turns, hands it off to Vickers. Vickers stumbles through the hole, but it's enough as he's across the 45 down to the 44 for a first down.
Yeah, we're about 3 months shy of the season of giving. So from Danville right here, I don't really know if these penalties are going to be something that later on down the road they might look at this and say, man, there was no reason to be giving them these opportunities.
You've kept this drive alive currently for Mount Gilead.
Oh, sure.
On your penalties. You lost a touchdown because of a penalty. There's no doubt the penalties are going to cost you this game.
Right. Yeah.
Because they already are.
Yeah.
So, again, Long underneath center. And see, as you look at that T formation, it's not even straight. And that may be what the problem is Vickers off that left side. He's going to push it down to the 40. But as you look at that, and you don't have your running backs all in a straight line, so therefore they're all coming at you at a different angle and a different speed.
Right.
And so you're turning, if you're choreographing your turn move to say that my running back's 3 to 4 yards behind me, I should be able to turn in this fashion. Well, when he takes away that half yard, it's huge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because you're turning blind into it. So you're turning into it with this anticipation. You have about a half second to make sure you make the right call.
And see here, now they're even tighter up behind him. And I think that's where they're running into these problems, is that consistency of lining up on your splits. But that is going to be Brahman off that left side. And he doesn't care about consistency, splits, or anything else. He just wants the ball, and then he wants to show you how bad his intentions are for you on the way down.
Yeah, I know it's not East Knox, but he's got that dog in him. He's running tonight. He's moving. He's rumbling. He's tumbling. He's got plans tonight. Again, we talked about it. He's got plans tonight. He's going to show some people.
So Barnum picks up the first down, puts the ball all the way down just outside the 30 at the 31-yard line as Mount Gilead continues to drive. And the other thing that Mount Gilead is doing with this drive, eating up that clock.
Absolutely. Which we talked about pregame. That's something where I know this Danville offense hasn't looked the way that you generally expect them to look, but you're keeping them off the field. Let them stay out of it.
T formation is Long underneath center. Pressure's coming up the middle, turns. He's going to make the handoff. He gets the handoff, and he somehow gets through the hole. As that was just a power run again downhill. I believe that's Barnum again on that carry.
That was a fantastic play right there, though, by Wyatt to be able to make sure that handoff went smoothly, because that was borderline in the range where they could have just direct snapped.
Yeah.
Like it almost would have been better off with a direct snap right there. He had no time to plan. So that was really well done by him right there to kind of keep that composure. I know we keep harping on it, but it's just kind of interesting to see, and it's something where I got to imagine that after this drive, the coach has got to sit these guys down and say, hey, We got to back up, 3 feet, back up 2 yards, do whatever you got to do. We got to get some sort of space, though.
Yeah, they seem to get closer and closer to him.
Oh, yeah.
So T formation again is long under center, turns. He's going to hand it off. That's Barnum again, a huge hole off that left side. And he's able to get it forward for about a gain of 7 or 8. And that's the thing is you got all 3 running backs going the same way. So as a linebacker, you have responsibilities. And until you can confirm that your responsibility doesn't have that ball, you got to keep going. And he's doing a good job with all that traffic in the backfield. The linebackers can't tell which one of the 3's falling with the ball. So it's going to be T formation again on a 2nd and about 3. Turns, hands it off. Vickers off that left side, a stutter step into the inside. And we'll see he's fell right about to the 10-yard line, which is where they needed to get. And they're going to say he's short by about a yard and make it 3rd down.
Keep themselves in a good spot here to keep running the ball, because I'd be interested to see how for long is he going to be having that interception in his mind. Is that going to be in there? Because very similar spot. They were here about 6-7 minutes ago with the same situation, and they ended up turning the ball over. So can they keep it on the ground kind of with the same, I would say, formula for success? It's been a little shaky, but it's gotten him down the field with some assists from some penalties.
So again, T formation as Long's underneath center. Vickers in the fullback. Long keeps it himself this time, and he's got that 1st down. Now he is going to probably feel that 1st down. As again there, Colopy just came down and kind of bear hugged him as he slammed him into the ground. Great tackle by the young man, and he is a force to be reckoned with. He's not the biggest of kids out there on that front line. But when he's hitting kids, they know he's getting hit. So it's going to be 1st and goal as they bring the play in from the sideline. T formation, Long underneath center. Takes a snap, turn, Vickers gets it, and Vickers gets hit right at that point of attack. I believe, again, that was big number 60 in there on that tackle, and it was, as Greg Wilson, the 6'2", 245-pound senior, was able to wrap him up and take him down.
I think he did that at about top speed, too, right there. That was a nice – you could feel that hit from up here. You could see that. Danville was all over that play, which, again, I don't really know if Mount Gilead's trying to hide what they're doing. Line up the same way every time and saying, until you show us you can stop it or not commit the penalties to give us the yardage, we're going to keep running it.
Vickers is going to check out Barnum back in. I think Barnum's success is he's a little bit shorter and harder to pick out of that backfield. Turn. Barnum's got it, and he's got it off that left side. He's going to push the pile, and we're going to probably have a hold. I don't know. That official had a purpose for that flag. That is going to be a hold. It is going to be a hold on Mount Gilead, and that's going to be a big break here, as that's going to be the first penalty that offense has had all season. Good Lord. All night long. And that's going to be huge, as that was a good run there by Barnum to get them inside the 5, but it's going to push the ball all the way back out across the 15. It looks like they'll set up shop now with a 1st and goal at the 19. Or 2nd and goal, excuse me.
Yeah, and if you're Mount Gilead here, do you lose that momentum again if you don't end up finding a way to score right here? Which direction do you kind of go with this? How does your kicking game feel? If you can't manage to get this 1st down, you can't get it into the end zone, how do you feel about your kicking game? Do you want to try and get some points on the board, or are you forced to go for it here?
That'll be interesting to see, and it's one of those things where both teams efficient between the 20s. Long under center turns. Is it going to try to hand it off Barnum? Barnum was through the hole too quickly, so he keeps it himself, and he's still able to turn that into a positive play and gets it down to about the 10-yard line. Maybe it's one of those things where you're so used to having the chaos of the snap and the misdirection that you just naturally know how to adjust yourself out of it.
Yeah.
And it's not that big of a panic point. But from our vantage, you sit up here and you watch this and you're like, and how's this kid pulling this off?
It's like a magician down there. It's like I'm watching Houdini down there making a football drive. But, yeah, I don't really know how he's doing it, but he's made it happen so far.
So 3rd and goal now. The ball sits at the 11-yard line. T formation, Long under center, turns, hands it off. It's going to be fake. He's going to try to catch his receiver and just overshot him, as that was Bo Sayers, and unfortunately this time Bo did not know catching the ball.
No for Bo on that one right there. Yeah, that pass had some heat on it though, man. Kind of needed to try and pinch it into that window right there, but now you find yourself in a big 4th down right here for both sides.
If you had a kicker, maybe this goes better for you. I don't know. We'll see here. Oh, they're putting the kicker out there. That's Olivia Long, I believe. We will see. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. Nope. That is number 2. I'm sorry. That's Tyler Herr, not Long. All right, so they're going to go for it. It's going to be 2 split out here to the right as a single back formation. Long under center, takes a snap. He's going to look over the middle, and he's got him! As he was looking for his wide receiver there, Elliott Jones, and the coverage was being applied from Levi Fure, and unfortunately, Jones went into the middle of the end zone towards the goalpost, and the feet went right out from underneath the defender.
Oh, yeah. Jonesing on him right there.
There you go.
Big time catch, though. Mount Gilead right there really needed to cash in. You needed to find a way to get points. You found yourself in the same spot earlier and weren't able to capitalize. Needed to this time.
Capitalize they did, and they're going to line up to go for 2 here. As Long will come under center in the T formation. Turns, keeps it himself off that left side. He got around the corner, but I don't think he had enough momentum, and he did. They're going to say he's in. So that'll make it 8-0. Mount Gilead on top of Danville with 3:21 to go here in the first half. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Looking to take your career to the next level? With Mount Vernon Nazarene University, you can earn your degree entirely online, anywhere, anytime. Our bachelor's and master's programs are designed to help you balance your education with work, family, and other priorities. Here at MVNU Online, we craft our faith-based programs specifically for your success. Learn more at mvnu.edu or call us today at 1-800-839-2355. Mount Vernon Nazarene University.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your.
So 3:20-1.
Whoa.
Boy, I tell you what, if anybody's got a free brain out there that they might want to offer up, I think it can't be any worse than the one I'm trying to currently convince I can talk. All right, so it's going to be 3:21 to go here in the first half. It's 8-0, Mount Gilead on top of Danville as they get lined up here for the kickoff. Wallace is going to be back deep, along with Payne. Street will be doing the kicking. And right now, if you're Danville, you know when you get in trouble as a kid and you're waiting for Dad to get home? That's what they feel like on the sideline right now. There's a lot of heads just kind of looking at the ground like, uh-oh. We don't have to figure out something here, Coach.
Yeah.
So Street gets his foot into it. It's a high-end over-end kick, and it's taken by Payne out across at the 15. He's going to come all the way back into the middle of the field, and that was a bad choice, my friend, as he was just hammered by Elliott Jones. And, well, I tell you what, Mr. Jones is trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, I think he's sniffing some pizza. I think he might have something in mind after the game tonight. So he's a name to keep an eye on right there. But 2 big plays back-to-back right there. Yeah, there was nothing but white shirts. Nothing but white shirts on that return right there. No room to move.
I wasn't aware the Counting Crows were coming back with Mr. Jones and me, but it is what it is so far for Mount Gilead. As it is going to be Hackman back in at quarterback here for the Blue Devils. Got 3 bunch to the left, 1 split out far right as Burke's in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, he's going to keep it himself on a sweep. Burke's out in front of him, laying down some lumber, and he gets to the outside as he'll get up to about the 30-yard line before he goes out of bounds. And that'll be just shy of that first down marker, but a little bit different energy with Hackman back in at quarterback.
That did feel different right there already, didn't it? Just one play. I know it wasn't enough of a sample size to know for sure, but there was just a different feel to that play right there. Decision was made already before he got the ball, and he moved.
So second down, we'll call it 2 as the ball's at the 27-yard line. Burke on the right-hand side. Hackman's got 1 split left, 2 bunch to the right. High snap, bobbles it, keeps it. Nope, he does get it to Burke, and somebody's got to stop that young man as he went through 3 or 4 arm tackles out across the 40 before he finally went down as he was tackled by Tyler Haar, and Tyler is questioning life decisions right now after that hit.
Can't blame him one bit for that, but one of the toughest runners in the KMAC right there. Burke just gets rolling downhill. Nice play there by Hackman, though, too, to make sure to keep that ball. He could have very easily gotten behind him. Got that one hand up there.
5'9", 220, 5'8", 145. That 80 pounds is a big difference. Shotgun formation. Bunch formation to the left, 1 out far right as Burke's in the backfield. Hackman keeps it on a quarterback draw. He's going to go up that middle to the 40, and he's going to get stuffed. And it looks like that may be a face mask. As in on the tackle for the Indians was Miguel Martinez, the 6', 250-pound senior.
And if you're this Mount Gilead defense, you're looking at it saying, yeah, you guys might get rolling.
You see me rolling.
Oh, rolling.
Oh, we went from Chameleon to Limp Bizkit. Wow.
Just like that.
I mean, might as well just drop a little Ludacris in here and roll out.
Nah, but they might see Danville start to get rolling a little bit right there, but they're going to say, hey, look at the scoreboard. we haven't given up a single point so far, so we have all the confidence in the world we can get the stops.
And they got no reason not to have it. 1st and 5 as they come out in the shotgun formation. Burke on the right-hand hip as Hackman's back in the quarterback. Takes a snap. He's going to roll right. He's looking there. He's got his receiver on the out route, and he's going to turn it up to the 50, and he'll go down right there at the 50. Great open field tackle there for Mount Gilead by Wyatt Long.
Absolutely nice pass, though, there by Hackman to Fure. Definitely a different feel right there, and all of a sudden this Mount Gilead defense has got to make sure they're on their toes. This offense is going to look a little different when Hackman's in the game.
Like when Gary shaves his beard, just looks different.
Unrecognizable.
I mean, I walked right past him on the street, didn't even know it was him. Shotgun formation, one split out far right, bunch formation here to the left. Now as Burke steps up on the left-hand hip of Hackman. Pressure's coming up the middle. He's going to take it. He's going to pitch it. Excuse me, that's Wallace. And Wallace has got a crease. He's going to stutter at the 50, drop a shoulder there at the 45, and he'll fall forward to about the 43-yard line. And a great job there again by Tyler Haar. I tell you, the young man's not afraid to stick his nose in there at anybody.
Not at all. Nope. He goes right in there. He's willing to stand it up to pretty much anybody. That's impressive to watch. Yeah, there's no fear. His heart is huge, man.
Heart is huge because you can see there's a difference in his size versus all the rest of the kids that are playing tonight.
Absolutely.
Shotgun formation, one split far right, bunch formation here to the left. As Hackman takes it, he's going to follow Wallace off that left side, and he didn't want nothing to do with Haar again as he stepped up and ran him out of bounds. I tell you what, for a sophomore quarterback, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this young man.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's in the game. He's been a presence. You've known he's there.
He's the biggest 5'8" ain't right. He's not 5'8".
I can't. There's no way, right? Of a 5'8", 145 is what they have him listed at, and that feels gigantic compared to what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not taking. It's not taking. I'm actually complimenting him more by saying that because
sure.
he's playing as like a 6-foot corner is what he's trying to do, and he has no fear. And you got to love that as a coach. Shotgun formation, one far right, two the near side left. Man in motion from left to right as Burks in the backfield gets it on the counter. He's got a block. He goes off of Lucas's block. He's got a seam across the 40, and he's going to get all the way down inside the 20 before he steps out of bounds. And a great job there opening up that crease for him. I believe that was number 2, Wesley Payne, who was able to seal it.
That was a crucial play right there for Danville, too, because with the clock being where it's at, you only have 1:30 left in this quarter. So, yeah, this drive has been fantastic. But you are running out of time to get into the end zone right there. So to get out of bounds at the end of that play was a nice move by him.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils as they come set shotgun formation 2 right as Burks on the hip of Hackman in the backfield. He's going to send Lucas in motion from left to right. Takes a snap. He's going to roll that way. He's going to be looking. He's going to look at Lucas. He's going to try to get him. He can't. He's going to go deep, and he was looking underneath for Fure, and jumping in the back of the end zone was Payne, and I just don't think he saw him.
No, and he tried to go across his body right there, too, which was tricky. He tried to put everything into that right there, but there's just couldn't get the pass out there. So, but you keep the clock from moving right there. You still got 1:25 left. This is the most productive Danville drive you've had all night, though. You know, you got a different team out there right now from what you've had the entire night. So,
and that's where Hackman's leadership as a senior, I think, has kind of given them that confidence they needed back. Shotgun formation, 2 left, 1 split out far right as Burks on the left-hand hip. Hackman takes a step. He's going to roll left. Pressure's coming from the backside. He's got time. He's going to try to step up. He still gets it away somehow, and luckily it went out of bounds as he was looking downfield. I believe the hookup was Spalding, and nobody was there.
Yeah, really a good response, though, in pressure right there, man. He had 4 or 5 white shirts covered around him right there, and he managed to get the ball out of bounds out there to the left. And nice kind of mature decision-making by the senior right there. Now you find yourself doing a pretty critical 3rd and 10 right here. So they got to figure out something. They got to get some sort of yardage to at least make that 4th down play something reasonable.
Shotgun formation, 2 left, 2 to the right as Burke is in the backfield on the right-hand side with Hackman. Takes a snap. He's going to drop back. He's got pressure. He's going to try to set up that screen, and if he can, he's got it. He's got one man to beat. That's Martinez as Martinez holds on for life, and that was enough to slow him down. I tell you what, Martinez wasn't letting him go. It didn't matter. Jesus came down and told him to let go. He was riding that thing to the end.
Absolutely. Aiden Burke is kind of like AAA. He's there when you need him. He's like this safety net. It's like you're out in the middle of the road. You have no idea how you're going to get home. You know, you're halfway between Danville and nowhere. And out of a shining light comes Aiden Burke to say, you know what? I got it. Just pass me the ball. I'll take you home.
Yeah, it's now 4th and 1, Coach. Don't worry about it. We're looking 3rd and 10. I got you at 4th and 1.
Not
we can make this happen easily. And that's a great weapon to have, and it's good to see here this offense for Danville getting a little bit more of that life back into them that we've seen all season long. And it's going to be interesting to see, though, if Mount Gilead makes this stand. That is just a continuation of bend, don't break defense and keeping that momentum on your side.
Oh, for sure. For sure, and it'll be interesting to see how they carry that into the second half, because from Danville, you got to have at least some confidence with this drive right here and how different it looked with Hackman.
And don't forget, Mount Gilead gets the ball to start that second half, too.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't want to get any further behind than you already are.
Nope.
Shotgun formation. He's going to have two split out far side right in the form of Wallace and Payne. Burke's going to be on his right-hand hip. Takes a snap, hands it to Burke. Burke follows Lucas off that left side. He's got a huge crease in the hole. Touchdown, Danville. And there it is again. I mean, just like you said, hey, Dad, I'm broke down on the side of the highway. Wah, wah, here I come.
He's not showing up in a Prius either.
No.
No.
No, that's an old square body.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a 1980 square body. He's got a 350 that's been rebuilt 14 times. He's got more starters in the back of that truck than anybody's ever seen in their life, but it's reliable and it gets the job done, and it's made it 8-6 now. Danville trailing Mount Gilead here with 1:04 to go.
And it's paid off. That's big time. Underrated.
Oh, that is exactly right. Shotgun formation. Burke's on the right-hand side. Trips right, one to the left. Hackman takes a snap, hands it off. Burke goes off that left side, but this time he's not able to get in, and that is going to make our score here. Mount Gilead 8. Danville 6. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
And welcome back to the Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights as we bring you action between Danville and Mount Gilead, as Mount Gilead is the surprise leader 8-6 here with 1:04 to go in the first half. So back deep for the Indians is going to be Har along with Trainer. As I believe that's Lucas is getting the ball teed up and ready to kick it off. And I tell you what, you needed those points for sure. But as you said during the break, it's still a little bit of a win that you kept them out for the 2 and you get the ball to start the second half. And you still got to come out and play defense to keep them off from 1:04 to go. So it's going to be a low end-over-end kick, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, and that'll be a touchback, and that is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, the first time Austin has ever seen that in a high school game.
That's a first for me right there. I didn't know that the leg could do that. Didn't know that was an option, quite frankly.
Yes, it is. There are a lot of options with the legs.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the options I got are the broken down, useless
Right.
options.
Yeah.
But there are people I've witnessed who got the better options and can do things magical with the ball. I've seen them like angle it and turn it sideways and up and around. I mean, if you ever start watching Gary kick things, I mean, it's...
No, you want to talk about a specimen when it comes to the leg structure. My goodness.
Oh, Gary goes home and hates us. It's going to be long underneath center T formation. Turns Vickers off that left side. He's going to push the pile down to about the 23-yard line, and there he'll go down. And it looks like Mount Gilead's a little bit content. Just go ahead and let that clock burn. You already got the lead. You get the ball to start the second half. No reason to try to force something downfield and turn it over.
No, Mount Gilead really, they won this half, obviously. They won this half 8-6. But this offense hasn't necessarily, this offense hasn't done what they've wanted to do. You know that. They were successful enough to get down there and get in the end zone, but they definitely haven't wowed you like you said. So, yeah, I don't blame them at all just trying to run out the clock right here and kind of suit up for that second half.
So they are taking their time as, again, the clock goes down. We're down to about 10 seconds on the play clock, 20 seconds on the game clock. As this will most likely be the last play. Second down, long underneath center, turns, hands it off. That's going to be run him off that Vickers again this time out across the 25 to about the 27. And I think Mount Gilead will be content with that. We'll see here. Hold on. We got a flag. Somebody's always got to do something. You couldn't just have anything just go smoothly, could we?
Not on a Friday the 13th, my friend.
That's true. That's why I went to the wrong stadium to call this game. But we won't bring that up. And we'll see here what the officials are talking about as he's going to look over, and I'm not quite sure what that signal is. I don't think I've ever seen it. Almost looked like it was dead ball, personal foul on Danville.
Oh.
And the player is ejected.
Wow.
Oh, my. Oh, my. That is not how you want to go into halftime. I can't speak to what it was. I wasn't watching that part of the field. That was over on the far hash mark that happened, right about the 35-yard line. But that is going to be huge, and depending on which player that is for Danville, the repercussions could have a ripple effect that echoes through eternity tonight.
That is profound right there. That is some deep stuff.
Hold on. You got to see what's going on.
Yeah.
No players come off the field. So maybe that's their first warning, next personal foul, then they're ejected. Maybe that's what that signal was giving me. But either way, it's a free bunch of yards, puts it 1st and 10 with the ball at the 42-yard line for Mount Gilead. They're going to open it up and go with that T formation. Wait a minute, we're going to have a timeout. And nope, that's the end of the first half. So our score here is Mount Gilead 8, Danville 6. Make sure you stick around for the second half because I got a feeling it's going to get a lot more interesting. You're listening to the Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Your family, the car that you bought when you were 18, the house you turned into a home. UIS Insurance and Investments protects what you love and provides security when you need it most. As an independent insurance agency, UIS Insurance and Investments is able to design a custom policy that's unique to you and assures that all things you love are safe and sound. For more information, go to uisprotect.com. UIS Insurance and Investments, trusted advisors for all your insurance needs.
It's halftime with the Mount Gilead Marching Band. Under the direction of Ross Runyon and Assistant Director Abby Stepp, along with color guard coaches Rosemary Kirkpatrick and Brooklyn Burton. Tonight, the band takes you on a journey of espionage as they bring you the iconic music of spy movies. We begin with an agent who is known as the International Man of Mystery. The title of this song is Soul Bossa Nova, but it's better known as the theme of Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. band goes on a mission with Agent Ethan Hunt as they play the music from Mission Impossible. To close, the band heads to London to get their mission from MI6 and to enjoy martini, shaken, not stirred. Let's take a ride with 007, otherwise known as Bond, James Bond. The music of spy movies by the Mount Gilead Marching Band. Thank you, and go Indians!
Home has never meant more. It's not just a place, it's where life happens. Protect yours from the inside out with a home insurance policy from Frank & Muth Insurance. Are you ready to get frank about your insurance needs? Start a conversation with the experts at UIS Insurance and Investments and see if a homeowner's policy from Frank & Muth Insurance is right for you. Get started at UISprotect.com. That's UISprotect.com. UIS Insurance and Investments. Trusted advisors for all your insurance needs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Under the direction of Mr. Andrew Gazio, we are proud to present the Danville High School Blue Devil Band! Joining us for a special halftime performance is the Danville 6th grade band. This special band is going to play a song that has become one of the most beloved traditions in all of college sports. Please enjoy our version, made famous by the Ohio State Marching Band, Hang On Sloopy! Ladies and gentlemen, give another round of applause for the Danville 6th grade band. The Blue Devil Band is down from the bleachers, and we're the ones who understand you. We proudly present You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. The Blue Devil Band is addicted to playing and dancing for you. It's a poison paradise. So please enjoy as we jam out to Toxic by Britney Spears. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for the Danville Blue Devil Band!
Home has never meant more. It's not just a place, it's where life happens. Protect yours from the inside out with a home insurance policy from Frankenmuth Insurance. Are you ready to get frank about your insurance needs? Start a conversation with the experts at UIS Insurance and Investments and see if a homeowner's policy from Frankenmuth Insurance is right for you. Get started at uisprotect.com. That's uisprotect.com. Trusted advisors for all your insurance needs.
Howard Hilton Grill, just east of Apple Valley on Coshocton Road, has a casual, cozy atmosphere, offering comfort food and good times. Open daily from 10 in the morning to 1 a.m., now adding Sunday morning breakfast at 8 a.m. The Howard Hilton also recently added on an outdoor tiki bar seating patio option with big screen TV. Stop by and enjoy great tastes like the Hilton Burger or enjoy Taco Tuesdays at the Howard Hilton in Howard. That's the Howard Hilton, 740-599-2337.
If market volatility is keeping you awake at night, call Spearman Financial Services. Spearman Financial Services have seen plenty of ups and downs, and this is normal. As our old high school football coach would remind us, the true champion is found with your ability to bounce back after a loss. So stop losing sleep and call the team who will coach you through the good times and the bad times. Spearman Financial Services, financial plans that last a lifetime.
Securities offered through Valmark Securities Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Valmark Advisors Incorporated, SEC registered investment advisor. Spearman Financial Services is a separate entity from Valmark Securities Incorporated and Valmark Advisors Incorporated. Past performances cannot guarantee future results. One cannot invest directly in an index.
Elite Preparedness stands as Ohio's unrivaled destination for top-tier firearms training and related services. Experience our state-of-the-art facilities in scenic southern Knox County, stock up in our pro shop, and enjoy our indoor and outdoor range options. Our expert cadre leads an unparalleled lineup of classes and personal training sessions. We also offer VIP transportation, armored vehicle services, along with security and executive protection services. Reach out at 740-263-1234, explore online at elitepreparedness.com, or visit our facilities at 25580 Bell Church Road, Utica, Ohio, to witness the ultimate in preparedness and training.
I just found out my daughter is pregnant and I don't know what to do.
Wow, how'd you find out?
I found the pregnancy test in the trash and heard her on the phone talking about abortion. I know it's her decision, but this is big. I want to help.
What about Starting Point, Pregnancy and Family Resource Center?
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
They have pregnancy test ultrasounds and accurate information on all her options. They're always non-judgmental and it's free.
Wow, where do I get more info?
Google Knox Starting Point. They're right behind the hospital in Mount Vernon.
Thanks. I didn't know where to turn. I'll start there.
Avita Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is proud to care for area athletes. Fellowship trained in complex knee and shoulder surgery, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Kyle Randall and sports medicine physician Dr. Jeremy Ream provide comprehensive sports medicine and orthopedic care for athletes, weekend warriors, and anyone who wants to get back on their feet, from strains and sprains to ACL and shoulder reconstruction. Avita has the experts you need. Call 419-709-8645.
And that was the UIS Insurance and Investment halftime show as we come back to action here, getting ready to start our score. Mount Gilead 8, Danville 6. And Austin, as we were talking here to start the game and then talking a little more at halftime, not really what we saw coming.
No, not at all. This has been a defensive battle on both sides of the ball. Both teams really struggling to get their sort of offensive, production out of anybody. Makes a little bit of sense. We kind of came to realize, at least with Mount Gilead as far as that goes, that their normal starting quarterback, Cole Fricky, got rolled up on there in the first, actually one of the first drives of the game. So, that explains a little bit of the miscommunication, a little bit of the chaos in the backfield, trying to adapt to Wyatt Long stepping in there. But
And in that sense, that young sophomore is doing admirably.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the toughest road environments that exists in the KMAC, if not the toughest. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so that's impressive on his part.
So we'll see here what they come out with the second half, and it's one of those things where, Ridgeway was starting for the game for the Blue Devils, and it wasn't playing bad, but the offense was lacking any kind of fire. You just didn't see that urgency in their execution out on the field. Towards the end of that second half, Hackman got put back in, and that's really when you saw that best drive for the Blue Devils, where he was able to help lead them down the field, not only on his feet, but also with his arm.
Yeah, that drive for the Blue Devils was 81 yards in 1 minute and 3 seconds. That's the most production I've seen out of them all night by a mile. They almost doubled up on their total yardage for the game just in that drive alone. So, yeah, you could see the senior leadership from Hackman come out right there, and the team felt energized behind them. So the second half, it's really going to be about Mount Gilead finding a way to respond. And this first offensive drive, they really want to see if they can get something going as well.
Well, if you could press that lead even more.
Oh, yeah.
With the struggles that Danville has had, it gives you a lot more confidence defensively. But if Danville starts finding their groove offensively, you're going to want those points because you're still going to have a strong opponent pushing back against you. You've shown your offense is reliable under the young quarterback playing as, the backup. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you ever want to get in a position where you got to chase the play or chase the other team.
No, I think the assumption's still, and you have to believe it. Until they show you otherwise, Danville's still the cream of the crop in the KMAC. So you want to get as much of a lead as you can on them because they're going to fight at some point.
So they come set and ready as Lucas has the ball teed up, and it's going to be Har with Trainer back deep to receive for the Indians. Get his right foot into it. It's going to be a high end-over-end kick. It's going to go to the far side. Har's going to take it there just shy of the 10. He's going to cut back into the middle field at the 15. Tries to make a couple men miss, and he can't. We got a flag that came in late, and maybe a block in the back. We'll see here. But that is going to be some poor field position for Mount Gilead if it has to start there or any further back.
Absolutely, and that offense that, struggled for the majority of that first half is now going to have to really step up and show that they can at least try and get some field position out of this, try and, push the yardage just a little bit. So, yeah, that's tough, probably going halfway towards the goal right there. So, yeah, it's going to be worst field position of the game for them by far.
So it's an illegal block in the back on the return team. That's going to push the ball back inside the 10-yard line. As they'll probably start, I think, right around the 10. Yep, that's what it's going to look like. So it's going to be 1st and 10, deep inside. Well, now he's going to mark it at the 9. What are we doing? Chain Gang's looking to get set. And it is going to be at the 10-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 10 for the Indians as they start the second half here. I want you to stick around after the game for the Pizza Cottage Player of the Game. Brought to you each and every week by Pizza Cottage. Under center takes snap, turns, hands it off. That's going to be off that left side. It looks like Vickers again up across the 15. And he'll go down right about there, gain of 5.
Vickers smacks that ball on the ground, too, right as he goes down right there. He's frustrated. Felt like he had one more tackle to break to really get a big gain right there. But some positive yards right there, picking up 4 yards. So making it down to a 2nd down and 6 here. So see if they can keep moving, staying ahead of the chains right there. It's going to be a big key in this half because that Danville defense, they're going to smell blood. They did a good job in that first half. They held them to 8 points.
So come in now with a split back formation as he'll have 2 in the backfield, 1 split far left. Turns, it's going to be a jet sweep off that left side, and he's going to get around across about the 17-yard line. He'll go out of bounds there as that looked like Trainer on the carry.
Yeah, Carson Trainer with that run right there, and more positive yardage. So find themselves in about a 3rd and 3 right there. So see how we can see what they can do from here. It's this is going to be a big statement drive for them, though. I feel like I think this is really important. You spoke on it, but Danville, once that train gets rolling, it's tough to stop them. So any lead that you have on them, you got to preserve, you got to fight for, and you got to scratch and claw to get as many additional points on them as possible. Pile it on because you don't know when they're going to come in rolling.
So long under center T formation. Man in motion is going to be Trainer. He's going to turn, hand it off to Vickers off that left side, and he'll push across the 20. We'll see what the far side line judge gives him. It looks like they're going to say he came short of that, and it's going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a 4th and 1 right here, so expect this crowd to get real loud right here, and I think they're making the right call. Looks like the right is going to kick this away. Big defensive win right there from Danville, though.
Huge defensive win. As Payne and Wallace are going to go back, set up at about their own 45-yard line. As they come set, it's a good snap, and Vickers gets his foot into it. It's going to be a spiral kick out to the 45, taken there by Payne. And he's going to try to make somebody miss, but that wasn't going to happen, as that young man did an excellent job of holding on. I mean, it's almost like when I give Austin a hamburger and try to take it back, he is not letting go.
Nope. Once I have it, it's gone, going right down.
And that's exactly what happened. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils as Hackman's coming back out on the field to play quarterback as they'll start at their own 43-yard line. Excellent field position.
It's a good recipe for success right here if you're Danville. Yeah, you have Hackman back in there quarterback, and you're looking to try and start the drive off the right way.
So they're going to go I formation, 1 left, 1 to the right, as Burke will be the deep man. Hackman looks over the defense, waiting for the official to come set, and he's ready. Barks out his signals, takes a snap, turns, hands it off. Burke off that left side. He's following his blockers, trying to roll down, but a great job there of keeping him upright and just continuing to push him sideways was the defender from Mount Gilead, but a gain of 2.
Really stuffed him right there. That front from Mount Gilead has done a pretty good job tonight of really keeping that Danville offense at bay. Burke's had some success getting out on the side, but there hasn't been too much up the middle that Mount Gilead's given up.
So 2nd down, we're going to call it 9 as the ball is just shy of that 45-yard line inside Danville territory. As the Ants scatter out of the huddle, they come out into a shotgun formation. 3 to the left, 1 far side right. Handoff is going to go to Wallace. Wallace stutter step, turns the Jets on across the 45, but unfortunately the payload got a little too heavy as big number 63 Martinez along with number 51 Shane Carpenter in there on the tackle. That's 500 pounds of man, dude.
Oh, yeah. There was nowhere they were going right there. Carpenter boxed him in right there for sure.
And Wallace is a scrappy young lad as he has the Jets. He's kind of that complement to Burke's kind of power running. He's a little more, I want to get my ankles moving and break your ankles for you attack. So shotgun formation. 2 left, man in motion from left to right. It's going to get it on the jet sweep, and the pressure comes from the inside, and that was a great job there. He did not get the tackle, but the pressure up that right side of the line by number 79, I don't have his number listed here, was what caused that play to have to go further out and allow his defense to get in there.
Yeah. Mickley just, as he kept on heading to the left right there was no space. And so looks like Danville going to punt it away right here, which is the right call. Wasn't sure if they were going to get a little crazy and try and go for it, but
Ridgway will do the kicking duties as he checks back in, gets his foot into it. It's a nice spiral kick. It's going to drive Trainer back to about the 15. He's going to go ahead and let it go as it took a Danville bounce and checks up at about the 12, and that's where they'll start 1st and 10. And now you're starting to turn into that game of field position.
Yeah. It's neither side's had too favorable right there. I mean, Danville had the opportunity there, but Mount Gilead's defense stepped up, and so now if you're Mount Gilead, you're very similar position where you started last time, right around that 10-yard line. So now they got the field to drive right here, and so it's gonna be tough. This Danville defense has looked on brand tonight. They've done a good job of really kind of keeping things limited, and you don't know how much that quarterback injury is gonna play a factor in this, but it's been noticeable a little bit.
So split back formation this time. Is it going to have? Oh, it's going to be wishbone formation. It's going to turn, hand it off. It's going to be a dive up the middle. I believe that's Vickers again. On the call, he'll push the pile maybe about a yard and a half. And he'll go down there as, again, Vickers with the carry for the Mount Gilead Indians.
Yeah, not much doing right there. And I will say Mount Gilead, good turnout from their crowd tonight. Looks like they really showed up. Fans
It's a beautiful drive. Scenic between Mount Gilead and Danville.
Are you familiar?
I may be familiar with that drive, yes. It's a short little jaunt, about 45 minutes. Down some backside roads.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was nice of you to check on their field, make sure it was in good shape today before you headed this way.
Yes, indeed it was. So it's going to be T formation. As long as it's going to be under center, he's going to turn, hand it off to Vickers, this time coming to that right side as he tries to spin out of the tackle, but he's not going to be able to get there. And it's a good job up front. I believe that was number 60 in on that tackle, Wilson.
Traffic jam up there. Good thing you didn't run into one of those. I will say that. There's probably not a lot of traffic jams between where you were heading.
There was a road closed.
Oh.
Well,
that's no good.
Panic almost ensued.
I'm sure.
But luckily, I also studied this land with Lois and Clark originally before all you inhabitants came along.
Really?
And so I just called out my sundial, and I was able to get my bearings and land right in where I needed to be.
Yeah. Sundial, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good call.
Not optimal at nighttime?
No, tricky. Sundial wouldn't help a lot right now.
Yeah, it's unless the moon's bright, but most of the time that doesn't be the case. All right, it's going to be T formation as Young's under center. Trainer in motion. He's going to pitch it to him on a sweep. He goes off that left side out to about the 20, and they'll say he was down just shy of the 20-yard line. No gain on that play.
Strong defense there by Danville. Again, not giving anything at all. And so you can kind of see where the tone is going to be for this second half. It just looks like going to be more of the same.
I'll be honest. I don't like your tone. I'm going to be honest.
Not a fan of it.
Not a fan of the tone. I was looking for a little more points on the board.
Okay. Well, I can't put those on there, though. The problem is Gary's the closest guy to it.
Yeah. And he's like straight arrow Gennaro, so he's not going to take the bribes. It's going to be a low punt. It's going to bounce and be taken by Payne there at his own 43. He's going to stutter step across up to the 50. He's going to try to go backwards, and that is when he realized that was a bad choice and went down. But it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils again. Great starting field position at their own 47. Are they going to be able to make something happen?
You have to imagine, again, Danville just kind of feels like the sleeping giant right now a little bit. It's that team that the talent's out there. Caleb Lucas is out there. That you got Aiden Burke out there. You got guys like Wesley Payne. You got some guys that you can mix in. There's all sorts of options for them. Just haven't been able to get together tonight. I think that's a big attribute, though, too, to this Mount Gilead defense. They have shown up in every single way tonight for this game.
So it's going to be an empty backfield for Hackman. He's going to have 2 split out far right, 3 to the near side here on the left. As it looks like pressure's coming right up the middle. He's going to have a man in motion. Wallace is going to give it to him on a jet sweep. He made Vickers miss. He's got blocks outside, and he's going to get around the corner up to the 35, and he goes down there as he was tackled from behind by, I believe, Trainer, along with number 23, Caden St. Clair.
You talked about speed and elusiveness. And on brand right there. Got out on that edge, and it's tough to bring him down once he gets rolling. Not because he's a power runner, but you just can't touch him.
He's a slippery fellow.
Ball placed at the 37.
So it's going to be at the 37, 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils as they come out shotgun formation. Burke checks back in on the right-hand hip of Hackman. He's got 2 to the near side left. Mickey in motion from left to right. Turns. It's going to be a counter to Burke. He's going to stutter step to that line, and he somehow still manages to fall forward. while everybody else falls the opposite direction.
Yeah, the pile was 3 yards behind him. That was very Aiden Burke, actually. In fact, that's kind of what he does right there.
It's also got a little bit of that slipperiness factor to him. He also runs you over, and then he slips past you as he runs you over. But either way, it's a nice compliment, and it's going to be a pain for most of the defensive coordinators in the KMAC to try to figure out how to best contain both those guys. So now it's going to be an empty backfield for Hackman. He's just going to shift the formation over to the right-hand side, and it's going to be full right. Barks off the snap, takes it, he's going to go left, try to do a little misdirection if he can get that corner, and he did, as he was relying on his speed and agility to get around that defensive end, and that paid off big time.
Absolutely. Jacob Hackman doing what he does best right there, getting the ball and running with it. Once he got rolling right there was nobody that was going to catch him. It got close, but what a great decision, what a great play call.
You know, you've been kind of watching it. The discipline of these defensive linemen for Mount Gilead is really what's kept them in.
Mm-hmm.
And that young man did exactly what he was supposed to do as a defensive end. The only problem is Hackman's on a full run, knowing where he gets to go. You're at a standstill and about 80 pounds heavier than him.
Right.
It's just not a fair competition. The coach knew that was going to be something they could exploit and did an excellent job of doing it there. So again, shotgun formation, Wallace on the left-hand hip as Hackman comes set, 3 left, 1 to the right. He's going to pitch it to Wallace. He's got a man beat there in the backfield. He's not going to be able to beat him. As that was Brunham right there, did a great job of splitting the 2 blockers and wrapping them up. So our score here is going to stay Danville 12, Mount Gilead 8. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Great news, Central Ohio. Foster's Pharmacy offers daily dose packaging, which are convenient and simple. It's truly personalized care you're looking for. It just starts with a call to get started. Take the hassle out of your medications. Call 740-392-0911. Foster's Health Mart Pharmacy.
Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel.
Cubbage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Enjoy the season. Cubbage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
Hey, in this time.
Welcome back. As our score here again, Danville 12, Mount Gilead 8. As they were finally able to find that spark they needed offensively in the form of Hackman on a beautiful counter play where he was able to get the corner, and then it was a foot race down to the end zone to set us up where we are right now. So Lucas has the ball teed up right in the middle of the field at the 40 as Trainer and Harr back deep. He's going to pooch kick it and try to catch him off sides. They may have as the ball bounced, and it looks like Danville got it.
Wow, what a play call. What an execution right there. Pretty good squib or pretty good pooch kick right there, to be honest with you.
Man, I tell you, the life that has popped back into Danville.
Yeah.
You didn't see this a whole lot in that first half.
No.
I almost wonder if they were rope-a-doping them. No, we're not really that good, and then bam, now you're hitting them, because this is the energy you expect out of Danville. These are the kind of plays, the high-energy plays you're accustomed to seeing.
Oh, yeah.
And now that the crowd comes back into it, we'll be able to see, really, can Mount Gilead's defense step back up and make that call, because you let them score here, you might as well start saying this is going to put you out of reach. Just the way this game pace is going
for sure.
and things are, but it's going to be a timeout as we're going to have Danville is going to stop and talk about it. We are too. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Hey, in this time of high inflation, remember, Goodwill stores have the lowest propane prices in town. So get your propane tank filled at the Goodwill Plaza store in Newark, the Goodwill Unlimited store in Heath, Goodwill at the Lake in Buckeye Lake, or the Goodwill Plus store in Fredericktown, and save big. Goodwill can fill normal-sized grill tanks to motorhome and even large contractor tanks by the gallon. At Goodwill, you're always guaranteed the lowest propane prices in town.
Education is valuable.
As we come back to action, our score again, Danville 12, Mount Gilead 8. I'd like to thank our sponsors for bringing you tonight's action. Starting Point in Knox County, Griffin Insurance, Howard Hilton, Foster's Pharmacy, Mount Vernon Nazarene University, Spearman Financial Services, Elite Preparedness, Pizza Cottage, Avita Health Systems, Licking Knox Goodwill, and our title sponsor, Cubbage Electric Plumbing and Construction. So, out of this timeout, the Blue Devils will start 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. All 3 possessions here in the second half have been their 40-yard or better, shortening the field, giving them a lot more opportunities. And then the energy that Hackman has injected back into this offense has also helped. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to drop back. He's going to look downfield deep as he's trying to catch Mickley, and he does! Inside the 20 down to the 15, as that was one-on-one coverage between him and Har. Har just lost a step by about a half a foot, and that is all Mickley needed to bring that catch in.
I know they're the Blue Devils, but, man, once they get rolling, they are a locomotive, and here is a problem. Here is a problem now because you can hear it from the crowd. You can hear it from the fans. Like you said before the game started, all of Danville is here. They're all watching. And once this team gets rolling, man, they get loud. Oh, no.
Oh, yes, indeed they did, as they liked to show in the first half a propensity to shoot themselves in their own foot.
Yeah.
And, again, that yellow laundry has hit the field.
The locomotive went off the tracks.
But they found something that might be working, too, so we'll see if they try to go back to that well at some point tonight. Out of the huddle, they're going to break. It's going to be shotgun formation, 2 split far side to the right. Burke's going to be on the left-hand hip with Hackman as the official comes set. Checks over to the sideline just to make sure the coaches still like the same play, and we're all good. Takes a snap. He's going to roll this way to the left-hand side. Burke's out in front of him, cuts up into the inside, and he'll go across the 40 up to about the 44. Late flag coming in there late, and chippiness level starting to pick up a little bit too on the field.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel this defense of Mount Gilead starting to get a little frustrated with some of the gashings that they've given up. I know that last one was kind of nullified by a penalty, but I think there's still some frustration there, and you can see it kind of ramping up down there.
Looks like that's going to be a face mask of the 5-yard variety. There's been a plethora of those called this evening.
Yeah.
And that'll make it, should be 2nd down and 11, I believe.
1st and 11 for the Blue Devils from the 48-yard line.
But I thought, okay. Shotgun formation, empty backfield. He's going to have 3 out far side right, 1 to the near side left. Now he brings Burke back into the backfield with him on the left-hand hip. Takes a snap. He's going to drop back. They're looking to set up that screen. They do. This time he gets it at about the 45, out across the 50, makes a man miss. But right there were a couple of his teammates to help wrap him up, take him down. But gain of about 4 on that first down.
Now you get yourself back within the sticks. You get yourself into a position here where it's second and 7, 2nd and 8, right in that ballpark. So yeah, they're starting to implement a few different things into this. It was really a lot of run game there in that first half, and now all of a sudden you're seeing a few passes. Again, it's that confidence. It's that senior quarterback. It's that leadership aspect, and you can see this team playing a little bit more loose.
He's got a little more pep in his step and on and off the field, and almost positive his teammates recognize that. Empty backfield for him, 2 right, 3 to the near side left. As the ball sets inside the Mount Gilead territory, pressure coming right up the middle. He somehow gets out of the way of it. Still looking downfield. He's got wide receivers all alone, and it's going to be dropped. As I believe he was trying to hook up with Mickley again, and he just dropped the ball, unfortunately. But as you heard from the PA announcer, another flag on the play and another holding call.
Yeah, it's been a theme here.
Yep.
It's a nightmare.
You know, it's like you have that coffee table that you keep kicking in the middle of the night and telling yourself you need to move it, and you never do.
Mm-hmm. I hate that thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is like. I mean, and it's just an unfortunate event here for the Blue Devils, as you know, right or wrong, I can't say on the penalties. I'm not down there making these official calls, but they're adding up. And so you got to figure out a way somehow, even if you don't feel it's a hold per se, you got to figure out a way to get within the bounds that the official's going to stop throwing those flags. Otherwise, you're going to have too much of this back and forth.
Sure.
So it's going to be shotgun formation. Mickley in motion off that right side. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. He's going to go around that right side. He's got a nice crease, and he'll get knocked out of bounds just shy of the 50. And you noticed it there as the blockers for Danville were kind of running and then throwing their hands up to make sure that they weren't getting that call. And it's one of those situations where I've been there as a player. Officials see things different ways, and it's not right or wrong on the argument from my side here for that point. But as a player, you're also taught a certain way. And so when you get a group of officials that don't see the game a hold versus non-hold the same way. Some officials, you have to be in tight underneath the shoulder pads. Some will allow you to get up underneath the elbow or the armpits and be a little more on that outside. And so learning that adaptation, and if it goes from a loose practice to a tight now where the officials are calling it, that's where you find these problems. Shotgun formation as he steps back. He's going to roll out to the side. He's going to look downfield, almost intercepted as Hart tried to high point that. And young man, I tell you what, if you waited about a year and had another inch on you, you may have had that one.
Yeah, I think we talked about the 5'8" earlier. I think if he truly was 5'8", I think that ball was in his hands right there. But that was a ill-advised pass there, though, by Hackman. I think he was trying to make something that he really didn't need to right there.
Well, they've had two potentially great plays. Well, you had the one caught by Mickley deep downfield, but the holding brought it back. Then you had you had the defense just totally forget that the receivers were behind them. And that ball was launched downfield, which would have been a huge one, but unfortunately he dropped it. So, yeah, they might be trying to force a little too much, having seen so much fall in front of them already.
Absolutely.
So Ridgeway is going to be out to punt as he gets set at his own 40. He's going to get his foot into a nice spiral kick. Taken by Trainer on the far side at the 15. He makes two men miss on a stutter step, and that is all he is going to have as he'll get out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10.
And there's Mount Gilead, though, dodging disaster with that pooch kick that they ended up messing up. They had the opportunity for good field position there, but they ended up giving it back to Danville. But after, I guess you could call it a defensive stand. I mean, it was with some assistance. But one way or another, they got the ball back, scores the same, and Danville's tried two two-point attempts and failed both of them. So one touchdown puts them back in the lead in this game.
And it's one of those things you're seeing from Mount Gilead. The defense will allow you to stay around. Now can your offense find a crease or a spark just big enough to take advantage of it, because Danville is struggling on that side. It's going to be a dive right up the middle, and it's going to be Vickers again as he'll push forward up to about the 25-yard line, but a nice gain on 1st down.
And again, I think it's worth noting, you had brought this up when the game kind of started, but what the ultimate success or the ultimate victory for Mount Gilead would be here is we didn't know what this game would look like. We didn't know if a victory for Mount Gilead was in the cards or not. But we wanted them to stay competitive, and as of now, absolutely they've lived up to that expectation.
And you're staying competitive with your backup quarterback, the young sophomore. Long under center, turns again. He's going to hand it off on the dive. He's going to go out. On the sweep to the outside. I believe that was Trainer on the carry there. He'll get nope, that was Long on the carry. Kept it himself. A gain of about 2.
Yeah, but like you said, you're doing it with a backup quarterback, so you're coming in here to what you know is a tough environment, and they're giving it their all, and they're absolutely in a position to still win this game. This defense has proven that they're going to stay here tonight, and they're going to give them the opportunity to win this game. It's just a matter of, like you said, if the offense can capitalize.
So Long under center again, T formation as he comes set. Turns. It's going to be a dive off that left side as he's going to push it. I don't think he got it. It looked like a defender came shooting in there last minute and just canceled any kind of momentum he had moving forward. And they're going to say,
Barnum on the carry, driven back at the line of scrimmage by Greg Wilson.
Let's see here what they're going to have to bring out the change. It is close over there on that far side. And that is also the end of the third quarter. Good Lord, somebody put me to bed. Danville 12, Mount Gilead 8. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Education is valuable, and at Mount Vernon Nazarene University, it's affordable too.
Year after year, MVNU continues to be one of the most affordable 4-year private schools in Ohio. Because of competitive financial aid awards, students are able to graduate with less debt.
Did you know that MVNU has ranged in the top 5% best college for the money by College Factual for the past 3 years straight?
Schedule a visit today with mvnu.edu/visit and see for yourself.
At MVNU, the future is bright.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
So as As we come back, it'll be the start of the fourth quarter. Danville 12, Mount Gilead 8. Remind you to stick around after the game for the Pizza Cottage Player of the Game.
Final play of the third quarter resulted in
It did say that it was a first down. So
Okay.
Mount Gilead keeps the ball here.
fourth quarter play begins. Mount Gilead 30.
And we'll see here as the clock now starts to become a little bit of an ally and or adversary, depending on what side you're on. As Mount Gilead has done a great job with the ball control all night long, clock management, but you got to make sure you get points on at the end of this drive. Long under center turns. He's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself, maybe a little miscommunication, and he'll get wrapped up from behind there, as I believe that was number 60 again, Greg Wilson.
Yeah, you feel like as long as you can keep this Danville offense off the field, the better. It feels like a massive victory. Their defense from Mount Gilead is held up tonight, but you don't want to give Danville any more opportunities than absolutely necessary. So it feels like this drive right here is pretty massive in kind of deciding where this game's going to finish off. I think points from Mount Gilead could really put pressure on Danville, and then it forces Danville to have to show what they got in crunch time.
Long under center again as he takes a snap, turns. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to go play action, looking downfield. He's got Vickers there out across the 35, up to about the 40. And he'll get ran out of bounds over on the far sideline, but out for another first down.
And you've seen that tossed in here every once in a while a little bit tonight. Not a ton. They haven't gone to the well a ton with that, but every time they have, it seemed to create some sort of positive play.
Wow, they say he stepped out way back at his own 45.
Oh, wow.
But that's still enough for the first down. So into the T formation they go. Long's under center. Turns, hands it off. That's going to be Barnum off that right side. He's just going to bulldoze his way up to the 50 and fall forward to about the 49-yard line. A big gain on first.
Yeah, nice run there by Barnum. Yeah, that was a power running game that he's shown all night that he's more than willing to engage in. And solid start here on this set of downs to try and get yourself into Danville territory.
T formation for the Indians as Long's underneath center. Takes snap, turns, hands it off. Barnum again off that right side. No, excuse me, this time it's Vickers. And he'll fall forward across that 45 to the 44, and that'll be another first down for the Indians.
Chains keep marching on, and for the Indians right here, this is exactly what you're looking for. You're eating up a little bit of clock right here, but you're also showing that offense is kind of getting rolling a little bit. You have a little bit of diversity going in there, but with the passing play, but the power running is still a success. Seems like the handoff issues for the most part have been resolved. Seems like they may have talked about that at halftime.
So again, T formation, Long under center, turns, hands it off to bottom, or excuse me, Vickers. And Vickers has got no room to work this time, though. Oh, no, that's Barnum again. Fires in on the tackle, wraps him up. They're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll make second down.
No, honestly, it might have been some generous placement right there. I don't know if he quite made it back there, but fortunately for them, they're looking now a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, do it again. As I got a feeling that's exactly what they're going to do.
It could be. Pretty likely.
So Long again underneath center as the T's lined up behind him. Turns, he's going to hand it off, and nope, he's going to keep it himself, try to get to the outside. I don't know, he was looking upfield at something. And he just had no clue that Byers was just breathing down the backside of his neck and took him down for a huge loss. It's going to push the ball all the way back to the 49-yard line, make it 3rd and 15.
It looked like they had both Sayers with a little bit of space out there, and I think that caught his eye, but didn't have enough time to try and execute anything right there. And now, all of a sudden, your drive is looking to be – this is a problem. I don't know. You got to try and get something out of this, though. It's been successful so far, but you got to keep it alive. You don't want to get this ball back to Danville.
Split back formation. Turns, and he's got no – I mean, that play was – I mean, he was in his back pocket before he even got the ball away from center.
Yeah, there was nothing there. That was –
I mean, Greg Wilson is having himself a night on the defensive side of that ball.
Yeah, what a statement play right there from Danville to ensure that they're getting this ball back. You can hear the crowd getting excited. They know that was a big stop. That was massive.
So out comes the punt team as Vickers will get his foot into it. It's going to be a long spiral kick as that's going to drive Wallace all the way back, but he's got a craze in the corner as he tries to cut out across 25, and there it is. There's another one as 2 flags come flying in, and once again, to the displeasure of the fans and coach staff. Wow. Man, that's a continuation of just bad luck for the Blue Devils here tonight on the penalty front. And it's a matter, I really, and not saying this in insulting ways, I've coached enough and umpired enough games to know this is easily done. It's just a matter of two different interpretations of the rule sets.
Yeah.
And I think Danville's usually used to a little more let them play style of officiating. This crew seems very proactive in making sure that they are on top of penalties that they see in their eyes, which is absolutely fine. There's nothing in my mind that says it's been egregiously a bad call. It's just they're calling it more than most officials call. These plays happen all the time. It's just this crew seems to be calling it a lot more than you usually see.
Absolutely.
So Danville's got the ball in a shotgun formation. Is this going to be Mickley in motion from left to right? He's going to hand it off to Burks on that counter, and he's going to drop his shoulder out across the 20. And he goes down there right about the 21-yard line. A nice pickup on first.
And I think you can see a heavy dosage of Burke right here. I think this is his time to shine. This is generally where he starts to really pay off. You know, you got that late fourth quarter action, and he's saying, give me the ball, coach. I'll get us down the field, and I'll get us where we need to go.
So it's going to make it, we'll call it 2nd and 1 as the ball rests at the 21-yard line in the middle of the field. 7:35 to go here in the game, and the clock is a huge ally for the Blue Devils. And starting to become an adversary for the Indians. Man in motion from right to left is Burks in the backfield, takes the handoff. He's going off that right side, tries to stutter step out across the 25, and there it comes from the backside, my friend. Another flag.
That is a broken record, and it is holding again. It is coming right on back.
Whew, man, that's it's a hard thing. Your frustration's coming up as a coach because you know your kids are working their tail off, trying to just do the best that they can. And unfortunately, what is being the result of that is what they normally do. These officials are saying, well, that's a penalty in my mind. And they're having a hard time then now adjusting to that because that's their normal flow of play.
Mm-hmm.
And to change it in the middle of the game is difficult. And that's why it's sometimes is very hard as an official that you almost got to get a little bit of a feel for that team as you call these plays and realize that maybe you got to change a little bit of the tightness of the enforcement, I guess would be the way to say it. So a double backfield formation here as it's just going to be Hackman on a quarterback keeper to the right side, and this time a great job by that defensive end of driving him out of bounds and stringing that play, and going to be probably a loss of about a yard and push the ball back to about the 10.
And like you're saying, I mean, these athletes, they're a creature of habit. They practice this way every day. They play these games the same way all the time. And so just to switch up on the spot and just say, okay, well, I'm not going to stop holding there, or however you're going to do it. That's tough. It's tough to just all of a sudden say, hey, we can't do this. You got to play a whole different way. It's a lot easier said than done to kind of make that happen. So it's difficult on a multitude of levels, but like you're saying, from the ref standpoint, you almost want to look at the game a little bit and how it's flowing.
So shotgun formation, 3 left, 1 to the right as Burks in the backfield as Hackman calls out the signals, takes the snap, drops back towards his end zone. He's looking downfield deep. He's going to try to catch his receiver there, and incomplete again. Tyler Haar just off the outstretched finger. I tell you what, man, right now, honorable mention, bare minimum for that young man for player of the game. He has been all over the field defensively, involved in breaking up plays, sticking his nose in against bigger runners, and has been a really kind of a nice piece for this Mount Gilead defense.
Oh, absolutely.
As they've done a good job of trying to contain this Danville offense, and quite honestly have done a good job of containing them all game long.
Done exactly that.
So they're going to send out the punt team as Ridgeway is going to set up inside of his own end zone, and Trainer will set up at right about the 50-yard line for Mount Gilead. Low snap. He's going to have pressure coming. Oh, there it comes. There's a flag, and that may give him the first down they need. As Trainer catches it about the 45, he stumbles at the 40 and goes down there, but I'm going to have a feeling that's going to be a personal foul, roughing the kicker, not the 5-yard running into the kicker kind.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit more than just a running into back there.
Yep, and this time Danville is going to receive the benefit of the flag, as the flag has been their enemy all night long. It's finally given them a little payback, and that'll keep that drive alive. And that may be the unfortunate play that seals the fate for Mount Gilead tonight.
Oh, that's a backbreaker when it comes to this defense, because they just thought they came up with the stop that was an absolute must. They had to do it, and they gave their offense enough time to get on the field, try and work something. Not to mention their field position was going to be fantastic. And all of a sudden, that momentum just completely flips. Danville has new life. This crowd has new life.
And you got to ask your defense to step up one more time for you. So out of the huddle they come as they get set in their standard shotgun formation. One near side to the right. Two split out far left, three far left as he's going to go in motion now from left to right. Turn it to going to hand it off to Burke off that left side. He's going to make two men miss, bounce it to the outside out across the 30. And he'll go down right about the 33-yard line. Another big gain on first.
Burke doing what he does best right there, broke loose on that left side, and all of a sudden he's a train that's hard to stop. So it's a big play right there, puts him in a second, extremely manageable, and staying ahead of the chains right now is going to be a key. They absolutely have the intentions right here of not letting the ball get back in the hands of Mount Gilead.
You have to. If you give Mount Gilead an opportunity in this, it could end badly for you.
For sure.
As you said, they only need to score a touchdown to tie it back, or to take the lead. Shotgun formation, two left, two to the right. And offside against Danville.
That one, a little bit of a surprise there. But
you know what else is confusing? Taxes. Taxes are confusing.
Yeah.
Yep, the tax code's confusing. And I'm just going to say it's confusing. We're going to go with that. So it's going to be second down now and make it 2nd and 6. As again, shotgun formation. Man in motion from left to right is going to be giving the ball on a sweep. He's going to try to go around that corner, drops his shoulder, bounces off the tackle, but not enough. Vickers wraps him up. And that was Josh Byers on the carry, but he lost a big chunk of real estate and pushed them back behind the chains.
Feels like the momentum is bouncing back and forth every single play right now. You get something from Danville that's really motivating, really momentous building, and then all of a sudden there's a penalty of some sort or another that just keeps pushing them back. It's got to be a moment where Hackman right here really tries to step in and make a big play.
So 3rd down and 12 with 5:04 to go here in the ball game. 12-8, Danville on top. This is a shotgun formation. Two split far left, one to the near side right. He's going to send the man in motion from left to right. Takes a snap, drops back. He's looking downfield. Still looking. He's looking deep right down the middle, and he's got Mickley there, and he's open out across the 50 to inside to the 35. And that is what they've been looking for all night long. They pulled it off without a yellow flag, and that is a huge gain into the middle of the territory of Mount Gilead.
You were scanning the field every square inch looking for that yellow flag, man. It's hard not to believe that any big play is not going to come along with one of those as a sidekick.
And I'm going to say it right now. I'm just putting this out there from my side. They lined Mickley up on this side so that they could be away from Har. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That young man has got them scared. They aren't throwing his way anymore.
It's a matchup problem.
He's a beast out there. Anyways, moving on. I just love seeing kids be able to succeed, especially when they kind of have that underdog look to them. Shotgun formation, 3 bunch to the left, 1 near side right. It's going to be a reverse as Burke turns, hands it back off to Byers. Byers stutter steps, makes a couple men less. Excuse me, that's Mickley. They're trying to get him in the house. He's inside the 15, and he'll go down at the 12, as that was a nice little change of direction, reverse, to keep the Mount Gilead defense off their heels.
And you're seeing right now some of the differences between a team like Mount Gilead, who clearly has improved from last year, and even with the backup quarterback clearly improved, but you're seeing some of the differences between a team that is hoping to be competitive in the KMAC and a team that plans on winning the KMAC. You can see the difference. You can see it in the quarterback. You can see it in the players. The momentum right now is entirely on their side.
And you're just, what it is, Mount Gilead's lacking that explosiveness on offense. And when you're in those T formations, that's designed to take that away to some degree, and that's what's kind of hurting them. I formation split, 2 to the left. As he turns, hands it off, Josh Byers, fullback dive. Touchdown, Danville.
Josh Byers with the dagger right there. Pushes into the end zone, and all of a sudden that hill that you felt like Mount Gilead had an opportunity to climb up. If that's not the deal breaker right there, I don't know. No question that the spirit on that team right now has got to be tough.
It's got to, but I tell you what, when they go back and watch this game, they're going to realize they played a lot better game than this final score is going to show if it ends up to be what it is right now, 18-8. So again, shotgun formation, man in motion is Byers. He goes right under center, direct snap to him. He tries to bounce it outside, and he was able to a little bit, but they're going to say he did. He got in on the second try, and that will make our score Danville 20, Mount Gilead 8. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
So 4-minute and 27-second drive by the Blue Devils, capped off by 11-yard run by Josh Byers, and that puts our score 20-8. Danville on top of Mount Gilead. And until that play, Danville was getting a little bit concerned, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. They were watching this game, and a lot of it isn't to their fault. They have had a very abusive relationship with the yellow flag in tonight's game. And it's hard to say who's at fault with that problem of the relationship, but it has not gone well for the Blue Devils offensively as a lot of drives have sputtered out.
Yeah, no, there would need to be a counselor to figure out exactly what was going on there.
So nonetheless, they have overcome the adversity and are on top 20-8 as Lucas gets his foot into a high-end over-end kick. He's going to check up at about the 10, skip past Trainer, and Trainer's going to have to pick it up. He thought it would go to the end zone, and he had to pick it up at the 2. And unfortunately for that young man, that's going to make it 1st and 10 inside the 5. Well, I tell you what, 99 times out of 100, that ball goes out of bounds or into the end zone.
The first half of this game, that ball goes into the end zone.
Yep.
Yeah, this is where we're talking about real early, that it feels like this field's almost built with a little bit of a slope in it. And when Danville gets rolling, man, that's the perfect example of it right there. The first half of this game, that ball absolutely goes into the end zone.
It checked up like my daughter's chip shots from 100 yards out. I mean, just boom and stuck right on the pin.
Gorgeous.
Yes, she is. Thank you for bringing that up.
Look at you. Look at you with the shout out.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line, as they will have 2 split out to the right and 1 in the backfield, and Long still under center. Takes snap, turns. He's going to fake the handoff. He's looking downfield and almost completed. He was trying to hook up with Trainer and just was probably about a yard too far out in front of him.
Yeah, and for Mount Gilead here, the problem too is going to be that this entire game, you kind of centralized your offense around that same strategy. Now all of a sudden you're going to have to go into this almost air raid style to try and get the ball down the field rapidly. And you haven't been practicing that at all this game. And so they're really up against it right here, not to mention the field position being one of the worst starting spots they've been in all night.
So again, 2 split out far right, a split back formation. Under center goes Long, turns, hands it off, and they're going to dive right up the middle on the right-hand side. As Bonham on the carry there for about maybe a yard. And you know things are starting to go bad when that young man isn't able to push the pile.
Yeah, again, the first half of this game, majority of this game, he really kind of had his way in that pile. He was generally, when it came to contact with that, the last move in that pile was always a forward, positive direction.
He was running, quite honestly, on parallel with Burke. Same style. I mean, they
agree.
remind me of the same style of runners, just powerful, broad-shouldered guys. Just got the speed, but they can also drop a shoulder into you and run you over. So again, split back formation, 2 split out far right as he's under center, as takes a snap, and he's looking over the middle, and the wide receiver got free deep. But unfortunately for him, he had 2 left shoes on, and Elliott Jones just fell over and was not able to bring it in.
2 left shoes on. That's an unfortunate situation to find yourself in. To make it all the way to 8:30, 9 o'clock at night and still have those 2 left shoes on, tough too.
It's been a long day, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Those feet are sore. But, yeah, this is going to be a I think there's going to be a few different directions that Mount Gilead's going to be able to look at this game because they were in it for the large majority of this game, and there was some points in times when you thought that if they maintained what they had, this game could entirely be theirs.
Yeah, I mean, there were the whole first half. They won that first half. The second half has been a little bit different tales, and they're going to have to take a timeout because that play clock's down to 0. So we're going to step out, too. You're listening to Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction, Friday Night Lights.
Howard Hilton Grill, just east of Apple Valley on Coshocton Road, has a casual, cozy atmosphere, offering comfort food and good times. Open daily from 10 in the morning to 1 a.m., now adding Sunday morning breakfast at 8 a.m. The Howard Hilton also recently added on an outdoor tiki bar seating patio option with big screen TV. Stop by and enjoy great tastes like the Hilton Burger or enjoy Taco Tuesdays at the Howard Hilton in Howard. That's the Howard Hilton, 740-599-2337.
If market volatility is keeping you awake at night, call Spearman Financial Services. Spearman Financial Services have seen plenty of ups and downs, and this is normal. As our old high school football coach would remind us, the true champion is found with your ability to bounce back after a loss. So stop losing sleep and call the team who will coach you through the good times and the bad times. Spearman Financial Services, financial plans that last a lifetime.
Securities offered through Valmark Securities Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Valmark Advisors Incorporated, SEC registered investment advisor. Spearman Financial Services is a separate entity from Valmark Securities Incorporated and Valmark Advisors Incorporated. Past performances cannot guarantee future results. One cannot invest directly in an index.
Elite.
One day, folks, we may bless you with some of the ridiculous conversations we have when we go to commercial, but just so you know, Austin would like a mariachi band, and I could go for a drum corps. If anybody just wants to follow us around and announce our presence everywhere we go, that would be fabulous. So it's going to be 4th down and 10 from the 4-yard line for the Indians, as I think they're going to attempt a empty backfield under center formation. I usually only see that in Madden when I'm making up plays, but whatever, it's going to work as long as launched the ball deep downfield, and that's intercepted. He was looking for Har, but unfortunately just threw it way too off target, and waiting with wide open arms was Carson Proper.
I don't know if there was a little with arms wide open right there, but man, that was something. But what a way to cap it for this Danville defense that really played a solid game tonight. I know that offense struggled at times. Really, for a large chunk of this game, that offense didn't look like the normal Danville offense that you're accustomed to. But this defense did not stray from what they do game in, game out. They showed up ready to play in conference play, and you could tell they had their eye on the prize tonight early.
Indeed, and they were the ones that was the constant all game long for the Blue Devils, like you said. Hackman under center is one left, one to the right. Burke's deep in the eyes. He takes the snap, hands it on the dive. He's going to go off that right side, push the pile up to about the 36, and he'll go down there. And I tell you what, if you're a Mount Gilead fan, just happen to be jumping into this broadcast, shame on you for one. 2, go back and watch from the beginning, because this score of 20-8 is not indicative to the game that was played all the way up to about the 3.5-minute mark. Mount Gilead really was kind of almost in control of this game, and unfortunately for them, on their chance to get back in this game, they had a penalty, which has been the story of the night for both teams. I formation again, one left, one to the right as Burke is behind Byers. Watching the play clock roll down as it gets down to about 5 seconds now. We're down to 1:40 to go in the ball game. Hackman gets the snap, turns, hands it off. It's going to be Burke off that right side inside the 35 up to the 32-yard line. And, you know, you hope that these young kids from Mount Gilead can recognize that. It's no moral victory to the sense of that, but, man, you're seeing progress. And as a young team, a team that's coming off, as you said, a 1-6 record in conference last year, that is a promising sign you're hanging in there with the power of the conference.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I have to imagine Mount Gilead is going to fare a little bit better in the KMAC this year. As we follow along with the team this year, I have to believe that they're going to have a little bit stronger of a season if this game's any indication.
So again, the I formation for the Blue Devils. One left, one to the right. As he takes the handoff, Burke again off that right side. This time he's got a little crease up to that 30. Bounces off some more tacklers inside the 35 down to the 20. He'll be just shy of that 20 at the 21-yard line. And I think that is the one that signed, sealed, and delivered it, my friend.
Yeah, and who better to finish this one off than Aiden Burke? He's the one of the heartbeats of this team. You saw very clearly that Jacob Hackman, one of the heartbeats of this team. It changed the second he got in. And if you're Danville, you're probably going to look at that a little bit and say, yeah, Mount Gilead was with us. but he wasn't with our number one guy. He wasn't with us with the guy that we expect to lead us to where we want to go this year. So for Danville, there's probably something to hang on to with that.
At the same time as your Mount Gilead, you hung with him on your second-string quarterback.
Yeah, it's the same situation.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be the last knee that they need to take that'll let this clock run out. And it has been a great fought battle between these two teams. Our final score here is Danville 20, Mount Gilead 8. And stick around as we come back with the Starting Point post-game show. Yes, sorry, I was going to say post-game pregame show. But again, my brain no worky. You're listening to the Cubbage Electric Plumbing and Construction Friday Night Lights.
Hey, football fans, as we cheer on our teams this season, let's talk about a crucial support team right here in Mount Vernon.
At Starting Point Pregnancy and Family Resource Center, we're here to support you through every decision, just like a coach guides you through the big game.
Whether it's about pregnancy testing or exploring your options, Starting Point is all about giving you the information and support you need.
Just like every play counts on the field, every choice you make for your life matters.
For more information, visit knoxstartingpoint.com.
Knox Starting Point. You have more choices than you think.
So welcome into the Starting Point post-game show of the Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights. Our final score again here, Danville 20, Mount Gilead 8. And as you looked up and down this game, and it was really kind of a tale of two halves. It was Mount Gilead's first half, and unfortunately for them, the machine that is Danville's football team just kept churning and churning and churning and finally found that gear to make things work.
Yeah, it was one of those things you felt like it was kind of that sleeping giant that was there. You knew at some point they would kind of get rolling, but Mount Gilead really fought well to stay in this game as long as they could, and I think there's going to be a lot of really positive things that the coaches are going to be able to reflect back on this as they head through the season.
And so one of the things that we look at throughout the whole entire game is the Pizza Cottage player of the game that we bring to you here at the postgame show, brought to you by Starting Point. And, you know, I'm going to just kind of go down a laundry list of players that didn't get it but could have got it. And we'll start with Mount Gilead. You know, I'm going to go with the young quarterback, Long, to step into this environment as a sophomore after your quarterback on the first defensive series goes down, and to maintain his composure when he was having so many problems with the snap and exchange between him and the center and him and his running backs, and not being on the same page because he wasn't the guy getting all the first reps. He held it together for them. They had a great job by their running back, Branham, who came in and was like a bowling ball, almost mirror image of Aiden Burke style, and was carrying this team when they needed those kind of loads carried. You looked on the defensive side. A great game by their young cornerback, Har. Stepped up, put his nose into places that didn't need to be, still trying to make that tackle, helping his team go forward and win this game. But the key of this whole situation when this game flipped is when one player checked back in, and that player is with Danville.
Absolutely, yeah. When Jacob Hackman stepped into this game, the team just changed. The stadium, you could actually feel a little bit of an amped up feeling because they knew that things were about to change a little bit. And once he got in here, they had that drive in that first half to end the first half that really helped them to kind of set the tone. They were looking at a 0 on the scoreboard heading into that heading into the halftime. And he was able to drive down the field, at least get them 6 and put them in a position to come back here in the second half. And in that second half, he had that massive pass to Aiden Mickley that kept that drive going and got them the eventual points that put them over the top. And they ran away with it from there. So in my eyes, it's hard to go away from Jacob Hackman as the Pizza Cottage player of the game.
Indeed he is for week number 4, so congratulations to that young man. And speaking of weeks, week number 5, it'll be game between Mount Vernon and Heath on the main broadcast over on 100.9 FM and 93.7 HD2. Our game will be Danville at Northmore. So if the two of you show up here next week for the game, you'll be at the wrong location.
Noted. I will make sure to
and it's a little bit further drive to Northmore than maybe Mount Gilead.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah, so,
right, that could be a problem.
So we don't want to have that happen. But
right.
That is where we will be next week. So again, our final score is Danville 20, Mount Gilead 8. You're listening to the game on the Cubbage Electric Plumbing Construction Friday Night Lights for Gary Carter. Yes, Montreal Expos. Bringing you all the pixelation of the light refraction. For Austin Maurice, bringing you all of the wonderful commentary that was picking up my lacking mouth. I'm Kyle Kerstetter. You have a great week, and God bless.